What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another Forward Progress live NFL watch along. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions tonight. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm stoked about this game. Good to see a bunch of the nails in the chat here already. Apologies to everyone for Thursday night. Like I said when I tweeted it out, I pride myself on being able to do these shows regularly. I just was going through something like a 24-hour bug or whatever, but I'm like in the 80 to 90% range tonight. Should be good for the majority of this game. So hopefully we can win some money. Hopefully the Cowboys can win. But more importantly, let's just have a good time tonight, everyone out there. Before I get started, as always, this stream sponsored by Pinnacle Sportsbook. If you're in Canada, make sure you're checking out Pinnacle Sportsbook, especially if you're going to bet last minute right now before the game starts. I don't advise doing that, generally speaking, especially if you're going to do sides and totals. Limits are high. Books trust their numbers a lot. But if you are going to do that, do the very best. Like whatever you can in line shop. At the very least, get the best number possible in market. And when you look at Pinnacle Sportsbook in market regularly, it's very often that they have the best number in market leading up to a game. If you like the Cowboys right now, -4.5, -108, best number you can get on the Dallas Cowboys anywhere. If you wanted to bet the Lions first half, +163, best number you can get anywhere. So make sure you check out Pinnacle in Canada. And if you do so, make sure you use code HAMMER to sign up, HAMMER. It supports us here on Forward Progress. You must be 19 plus, not available in the US. And as always, please play responsibly. Cannot preach that enough. Going to have a bunch of bets here before the game. Probably looking at like 8 or 9 props tonight. They're all going to be small bets because a lot of them are tied to one another. You'll know what I mean when I go through them. But I expect like a certain type of game script for both of these teams, or a matchup that works one way or another for both of these teams. It's a little bit of guesswork, but that's what we do when we bet props. You kind of build a narrative around how the game's going to play out. You bet based off of that. That's how my numbers are generated, generally speaking. 4 guests for tonight. First quarter. The man, the myth, the legend, Joey Knish, Detroit Lions fan, steps up and in. He said he wants some time to talk tonight about how the Lions have no chance to go anywhere. Dan Campbell shouldn't win Coach of the Year. Bunch of stuff about that. Surprising stuff. I was floored that he wanted to talk about how bad the Lions could be in the playoffs. But he'll be here in the first quarter to do that. Second quarter, newly anointed internet bully, Eric Eager, stirring the pot on the Twitter. Gonna ask him what that's all about in the second quarter. Third quarter, Andy Molitor from the Deep Dive podcast coming out of the second half. I'm sure he'll have a bet to sweat for the second half. We'll do that with him. Fourth quarter, my good friend from Circles Off, Johnny from BetStamp, is stepping up and in tonight. 4 great guests. Stay tuned the entire night. Smash that like button. Sub here on Forward Progress. And if you don't mind, share out the stream as well. Goes a long way in helping us grow this channel. All right, let's get into it. Side and total, don't want to talk about it a whole lot, but I'll just spend 2 seconds here as we go into the game. We covered this game on the Best Bet show here on Forward Progress on Wednesday. All 3 of us were kind of like, it's got to be like a Detroit or nothing when the price was 6. The market took some money on Detroit. We're like 4.5, 5 now across the board. Total's been fluctuating, went from 51.5 up to 53.5. At the sharp books, it got bet down a little bit. I think these numbers are fine, honestly. Like I said, I wanted a way to play the Cowboys in this game because of Detroit clinching last week. Pretty emotional win, but the number was not there. Like Dallas 6 at that price was a Detroit or nothing. So not a surprise based off of where we ended up here, but let's get into the props quickly. I'm going to start with the ugliest one of the night, the one that no one's going to want to play. CeeDee Lamb. Receiving yards total. We're going under 98.5 plus 104 on CeeDee Lamb. I know what you're thinking. We're going for $50, Jason. Everyone's thinking the same thing. CeeDee Lamb puts up 100-yard games all the time. Detroit secondary sucks. All that's true. But when the Detroit secondary sucks, it creates a lot of good matchups for other receivers on the Cowboys as well. And guess who doesn't have the best matchup? CeeDee Lamb's going to face Brian Branch in the slot a lot in this game. I'm not saying he can't win that matchup, but Brian Branch is the best thing the Lions defense got going for them right now. It's a high number. It's a high number. Under for $50. Keeping it with the Cowboys. Michael Gallup anytime touchdown, first touchdown. I know what everyone's thinking. Michael Gallup, this guy stinks. Yeah, it's true. He's not very good. Hasn't been good for the majority of the season. He's also getting all his snaps back. If we look at the last 3 or 4 weeks here for the Cowboys, Michael Gallup snaps trending upwards, Jalen Tolbert downwards. They're using Michael Gallup as a third receiver a lot more. In the last 4 weeks, he's been on the field 50% of the time. I just like the price on him. So Jason, for first touchdown, we'll go $5 at the 30-1 prices widely available. For any time, we'll go $10. That's what we're playing for Michael Gallup. Sticking with the Cowboys. Hunter Luepke. Where's the guy in the chat that said, I can't wait for the Hunter Luepke 3-touchdown game? Sorry, I know you have a name. It was very early. Call it intuition. There it is. Ready for the Luepke. It's 18-1 in market for anytime touchdown right now. You basically need it to hit 6% of the time with the lineup the Cowboys are putting out there tonight without their backup running back. So we're just going regular touchdown, Jason. Regular touchdown anytime. Looks like it got bet a little bit. 16-1 widely available right now. And we'll go $5 on that one for a little bit of a sweat on Luepke. And then finally, Jalen Tolbert under 1.5 receptions. This is kind of tied to the same thing with Michael Gallup, but Tolbert's receiving yard or like his snap counts have just been trending downwards. I'm a big fan of his, but ultimately he's not seeing the field enough to warrant this price. $50, Jalen Tolbert under. On the other side of things, Detroit Lions. I think this is a David Montgomery game. I think the Lions are going to try to run the ball heavily. If you wonder why we saw a little bit of under money towards the end of the week here, I really think it's because, yeah, the Cowboys secondary, they give up some explosive plays, but they're struggling in the running game without Jonathan Hankins in the middle of that defensive lineup. Now, I'm not playing anything related to Montgomery in the rushing yardage because I think it's been bet up enough, but with him being on the field a lot, I like his receiving yards over. So receiving yards over 7.5. He's been a little bit more involved in the passing game when he gets snaps. Just the yardage, Jason, we're going $50 on David Montgomery over on receiving yards. In that same vein, Jared Goff, passing yardage total. Yardage is at like roughly 263.5, 262.5 across market right now. I like the under on Jared Goff. Again, I know what people are thinking. The spread is 4.5. They might be trailing. Dallas going to be up a lot. I really think the Lions are going to play this to try to keep the Dallas offense off the field, run the ball as much as they can. Another $50 there on Jared Goff. Jameson Williams. Everyone's in love with Jameson Williams lately. I get it. Snap counts are up. Last couple weeks, 7 targets, 6 targets, way more involved in the passing game. But this is a different matchup for Jameson Williams and for Josh Reynolds on the outside as well, because those are the guys that are going to get Deron Bland and Stephon Gilmore. Amon-Ra is going to be in the slot against Jordan Lewis. He's probably going to go off, but his receiving yardage number is too high for me to bet. But Jameson Williams at 2.5 receptions plus money on the under, I think is worth a look. It's just a really good price. I make this basically a pick 'em, and you're getting plus 120 on it. Widely available, $50 on that. And finally, we'll end with the Lions anytime touchdown. And it's going to be Khalif Raymond. And it's just price, purely on price here. Because Khalif Raymond, I mean, after St. Brown, Reynolds, Williams, there's clearly a drop-off to his snap counts. But if you look at Khalif Raymond since the bye week, back in week 9, week 10 to week 16, he's basically on the field about 30% of the time. That's roughly 20 to 25 snaps in this game. At 9-1, decent enough dart, in my opinion. It's been bet down a little bit. Don't want to go crazy with it, but we'll go $10 on Khalif Raymond. We'll do a quick recap. Khalif Raymond over a half touchdown. Score a touchdown. Jameson Williams under on receptions. Jared Goff under on pass yards. David Montgomery over in the receiving game. Jalen Tolbert under 1.5 receptions, minus 109. Hunter Luepke, touchdown. Michael Gallup, first touchdown, anytime touchdown. CeeDee Lamb under 98.5 receiving yards. All right. The people want to know, Is there a porn guy prop for the game? Jason, porn guy behind the scenes. What are we doing here?
Okay, so you kind of are thinking in the same vein as me, Jay. You're thinking in the same vein as me with the Hunter Luke K 3+ touchdowns. Rob, same thing. You took his anytime touchdown. I took his first and last. When I checked, you can get best price in market 70-1. I'm just gonna lock in both first and last if you're okay with that here. I'm just gonna scroll down and try and find the price that is available right now here. But yeah, just based on the same kind of logic that you had there, just the way that they have the running back split. I know they said Deuce Vaughn was going to be the second back, but like if they're in the goal line at all and they take out Tony Pollard, I just see them going to Hunter Luke over Deuce Vaughn. I don't see them using him in the red zone at all here. So that's kind of my logic. And then I wanted to look for some Malik Davis props, couldn't find those. So this is what I'm going with here.
All right. You heard the porn guy. He's in. Some guy from ESPN is all over the Deuce Vaughn stuff today. So I kind of just wanted to lose for that reason.
Same here. So I'm going to lock it in.
You dropped the L word that we don't like to use too often.
He's been doing that all year, by the way. But anyways, lock that in right there.
He is an idiot. And speaking of idiots, we'll welcome in our first guest here. He also was the last person who used the L word. And that was on Thanksgiving, I believe, when he told us to take the Lions any way possible. First quarter, first half, second half, full game, props over. If you forgot about Thanksgiving, those all Detroit basketball, get out of here.
114 up 7 with 3 to go, baby. Tonight is the night. And all we needed was these losers from Toronto to come in to take it out to end the streak. So big night. What a great appetizer leading in to both your teams go down to Detroit teams within the span of 3 hours. So going to be an incredible night here. Incredible Saturday night. Seeing when do the Wings play the Leafs so we can make it a hat trick? But
the Leafs will lose to Carolina tonight in all likelihood. So I'm hoping it's not a horrible night for all my teams, Knish. But
I actually have a quite large way. So the news, the OG Anunoby trade broke earlier, and then a couple places left the lines up, and I was thinking that maybe they'll rest Siakam and all those guys too. But so ended up with kind of a decent position here. More money on this Pistons game than I got in the Lions game, I'll tell you. So I was trying to tune out what you were saying there on the prop stuff. But you got anything on this game tonight outside of what you just the prop stuff?
We played like a very, very. It's enough of a sweat to sweat Lions +6. So I'm hoping the Cowboys win by a field goal tonight. But if the Cowboys win by 100, I wouldn't care either way.
I gotta tell you, kind of feels like a house money. Like last week was the if we lose this game, then it's like, oh my God, we could lose, and then we play the same team in a week from now, and it could be like the collapse. Winning last week, thank you, Nick Mullins. You know what? This is kind of a house money. We're probably not going to get the 1 seed anyway. So I think I said it on YBYB that I don't know, just kind of hope we stay healthy in this game.
So I'm very interested in your take on this because the coach of the year market, where Stefanski's now a huge favorite. But there's a lot of people out there that think if Campbell pulls the upset tonight, he goes back to the favorite. I don't believe that, honestly.
I don't believe that either. I think the only way Campbell wins it, and even then I don't know, is if they actually got the ones. They win out, the things happen, like Philly loses, San Fran loses, and the Lions actually get the 1 seed. That would be, to me, the only path. Even then, to be honest with you, Joey K's got him. I got a little too much Stefanski. So I mean, I love Dan Campbell, but maybe next year he can be coach of the year when we go 17-0. I just don't. It seems like everyone after Thursday kind of gave Stefanski the award.
Why don't you fill it? Go ahead.
If I'm being objective, well, the guy that's like Florida. He basically had what happened to Florida State tonight and won 11 games, in 9 starters out, and Joe Flacco out of the mothballs, and he wins 10 games. I mean, I'll give him credit. I think the best thing the Lions did this year was the schedule, which I don't think Campbell had a lot to do with. So
I want to talk about that FSU game in a second here. I'm just going to count down the play clock as I see it. 12, 11, 10, 9.
We're real synced
8,
up. Cunningham.
7.
Oh, for the win. Oh, that would have put it away.
You're still watching the Pistons right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm counting down the play clock for the Lions game.
Stop there.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
I was trying to sweat this Detroit basketball streak. All right, hold on. All right, I'm flipping.
You don't have to. You can actually watch the end of the Pistons game if you want. I'm
It's
totally fine
like
with that.
they're about up 7 with minute 40 to go. One more bucket, and the streak is over.
I was like, there's no way we're synced on this game as someone myself who like is paying for cable and someone like you who's finding the stream that's like 90 seconds behind real time.
Bucket for Cade, up 9. That's going to do it, baby.
Do you find it weird at all? The amount of people who are victory lapping the fact that FSU got blown out. It's like, dude, they played with nobody today. They're literally like 1/3 of their team was not there today. I get it. Like a lot of people didn't want to see them in the playoff and they're like, oh, they don't deserve to be there. But like the victory lapping thing is very unusual for me.
Yeah. It's one of those, like if you're doing, I shit posted, Bud and Cannell because, I like annoying, but first down Lions, baby. But
we are pretty close. We are pretty synced.
If you're seriously like, oh, that proves my argument, then yeah, you're kind of out to lunch with that. Like, and not only didn't play anybody, you played the best team in the country who played most of their guys. So, yeah, that was a tough scene for if you're in Tallahassee. The last few weeks in Tallahassee, it's kind of tough to have an undefeated season and go, I tell you what, they should have opened up the roof tonight and let some precipitation in because let Jerry.
There was I've never wanted to go against my numbers more than with St. Brown. I hate betting the top receivers like over. Honestly, I think if you just take every number 1 receiver in the league and blindly bet they're under for the entire year, you make a bunch of money. That's my personal opinion on the way that these guys are priced in props markets. But I've never wanted to fade my number more than with St. Brown tonight, where I'm like, oh man, this guy is he's going to get so open against the Jordan Davis, the slot corner for the Cowboys is terrible.
Michigan man.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, the Michigan men are killing our defense. Mazai Smith, get the hell out of here, bud. Jesus.
Oh, that was I remember Taco Charlton too. That was an old Cowboys.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, he did.
Fuck Michigan, man. They've ruined our defense for years.
Jerry loves them some Michigan men. Graham Knish merch, baby. I got a few extra Knish shirts I bought off some guy that was selling them like online, and I had to buy 12 of them because he didn't have any singles left, and he's like, if I'm gonna buy, I need you to buy a dozen. So I got like probably 6 left.
Wow, J-Rod is in denial that this could actually be your real voice.
People say this to me all the time, and I'm not sure what like. I don't know what the thing like. Is it because they think I sound like? Some people have been like, you sound like you smoked for 10 years or something. And like, I don't
it's a combo. Like the best way I could describe it is you sound like if a Muppet smoked for 10 years.
No, that's not. Yeah, I know people. I always get that. Like, does your voice sound like? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The lying down cash. Yeah. Listen. Joey, I don't have a studio like setup, so even when I'm on, if I'm gonna sit up,
you don't say.
Yeah, I don't have like a desk or anything. That too, like when I like working from home, I got one of those things you put on your lap and you can set the computer on. So yeah, I just a man of comfort.
No. We're going to have to switch that at some point. Sponsors. This guy can't be sitting on the couch anymore.
We get that. It's a good pick. I that's real. That's a good find by Jason there, who I usually am not. You usually only do on shows where Zach's a producer, but I let it fly tonight.
It's true. We gave you guys Jason for a couple episodes, I think, of Hit the Books last year, and that was that.
I mean, I hate to have to fire this guy, but get him off the show. So hopefully you didn't mention that to Jason. He hopefully he was on mute there, but
it's okay. He's found a spot here on Forward Progress as the porn guy, and I mean now he's killing it. People want to see the porn guy on the stream for there.
All I want to say is it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me. My hearing was like, my doctor told me I might have to quit my job because like the first 2 weeks of working with you, Joey, it was a pain on my ears every day. I would go in after the show and be like, Doc, my ears, they're ringing. What do I do?
Was that Dr. Sins, Dr. Johnny Sins that you went to?
It was Dr. Johnny Sins, who by the way I referred you to help you out recover so quickly. So give a quick smash the like button for Dr. Johnny Sins helping Rob get nice and healthy for tonight's stream.
Yes. I did tell people tonight, Knish, that if we got to 4K subs here on Forward Progress, we would let you make the announcement. I don't think we're going to get there, but we're close, man. We're close. By the way,
listen, I'm on the flagship show. So,
here's what I was going to say.
Unsubscribe. Go to Hit the Books and subscribe. Unsubscribe to this channel, and then you go to reverse psychology there. Count double cross.
Well, Knish, it's funny that you mentioned that because I remember when Hit the Books passed Circles Off in subs, you threw a tweet out there. You were celebrating. I currently see Hit the Books at 4.08. I currently see Circles Off at 4.51, buddy. We've left you in the dust in the last couple months.
Listen, John, I know Johnny's tactics. He probably paid some Taiwanese company to, 1,000 of those are, fake bots or whatever he was trying to get a hold. So,
fuck, we can't have this shit happen. We cannot. We're only 10 away. We're 10 subs away from 4K on Forward Pro. Send it out to your grandmother. Send it out to your long lost uncles. Whoever you got to do. Create a pen account.
If you've got their info, just create a YouTube account and hit subscribe for it. So,
oh man, drinking tea here like a jabroni, man.
Oh, how was that? A block in the back. Come on.
It's tough, man. This team just can't.
Did you see the replays of the last time we played the playoff game in Dallas? That PI call that they played that in Detroit all the time. The playoff game on Ebra where like they picked up the PI call.
I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the biggest horse shit win for the Cowboys.
I remember. That one still makes the rounds around here pretty frequently. So.
Yeah, the only thing that people don't remember that as much anymore just because there's been so many bad calls in the recent years. There was like the Breeze one, the Saints-Rams conference finals with that obvious pass interference on like the out route, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. There's been so many that people just forget. But tough, very tough.
Yeah, no, that I remember I had a oh no, not Pistons trying to make this a bucket and an instant turnover there. So 5-point game, 30 to go. But I remember I had a large wager on Lions +7 that game and was like in orbit after that call and like just thought we should have won in general. So
that was what year was that? How long ago was that?
2016.
Wow. No, it had to be longer ago than that. Had to be longer ago than that. Maybe you're right. I don't. Yeah, I remember the game very clearly.
Yeah,
I just don't remember the year. 2015, Cowboys 24, Lions 20. Yeah, so you made a huge wager back then. It was $20 for you.
Right. No, yeah, that it was legitimately like it was like I love what I think of now as peanuts was at the time I was like, oh my God.
It's true. If I could go back, if I go back in time sometimes, and I think like I bet that game where Derek Fisher hit the 3-pointer. I think it was Lakers Spurs.
No, Lakers Spurs. It wasn't even
Yeah.
a 3. It was a 2. It was like
Right away.
0.4 seconds.
And that was my chase game of the week, where I was like down a bunch. I asked the guy for like more credit, and I hit, and that was. But I think back on that, and I'm like, I sweat that game so hard, like it was the end of my life, and it was like a $300 bet.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Those are. It's funny. You look back and you're like, man, those were. Sports betting was a little different than just in terms of how you dealt with it emotionally.
We got a donation here from Drew. Drew, you're in the chat all the time. Drew Furstenberger, related to Suma, actually, German. And there is some sort of, I believe.
Oh, yeah, all the Germans, just like all Canadians know each other, all Germans.
Exactly, right? So appreciate you, Drew. Happy holidays. Hope you have a great New Year's this week, and enjoy 2024.
Sorry about the Iowa side. So I always got the Iowa State helmet at
Iowa State. Oh yeah, I didn't know. I've never noticed that actually. Tough break. Yeah. The old Cyclones. Oh man.
Good first shot. Now let's see the best unit on the field, baby. That Lions defense. Give me a little.
You got an opinion on GRP?
The guy from Twitter?
Yeah. Do you follow his stuff intently? The best positions in the country on comeback player of the year?
I've had him muted for a long time. So I sometimes if it gets in like one of my comments, I'll go to, but honestly, I just couldn't. I thought it was just a bit for a while, but I will say the crashing bet bash 2 bet bashes ago was like legitimately like laugh out loud funny. Like I'll give him that. Like there was some great bits, but yeah, the mute button. Yeah, Clive, I agree. He's one of those that it's been a while, so
I've come around on him quite a bit. In the early going, I was very frustrated by him, but I've certainly come around on him, and it's most definitely not a bit. And he crashed bet bash like he was standing next to me when he got escorted out. I thought I got the fuck out of there quick. Like I'm like, I don't know what's about to go down now, but this guy looks like he's crazy. Like I don't want to be here when shit goes down. I told him that when he was on the stream.
Yeah, that honestly, that's when you realize that the thing you think is a bit is not is like, wait, no, this person's actually like this. It can really change your perspective on. So we're like, whoa, wait a minute, like this guy, he's actually insane like this. So yeah, it's more authentic that way.
Oh, we're gonna have to take CeeDee Lamb down immediately. This is what happens when Sutton is out there.
What happens when Sutton's out there? He's our number one corner. We had to we're down. We benched Jerry Jacobs, and we got guys running around there. There was some guy like Valor. I didn't even know who he was a few weeks ago.
Kindle Vildor, I think.
Yeah. Like I remember seeing him. I followed this team. I was like, who the hell is this?
Oh man, I hate betting on games involving my team, man. Everything is such a sweat. You can't even cheer for your team to do good things.
11 pass plays of 20-plus yards allowed last week to Nick Mullins, who like maybe has the arm strength of like a 40-year-old gym coach.
Yeah, but he'll sling it, man. He doesn't arm strength or not.
No fear.
Yeah,
sling it. Mind you, it can go to either team, but he's not afraid to throw it.
What's going on in this Pistons game here? It's been awfully quiet recently from you.
Man, they're really the Raptors are fouling like it's game 7 of the final. Like there's literally like this last minute has been on for 20. It's 122, 126. Pistons ball, 18 to go. So
well, yeah, I mean, I would too. It is like games like you don't want to be the team that ends.
Oh yeah, they're trying not.
They thought they could trade Anunoby today and they would be fine because it was the Pistons tonight. They should have waited till after the game. You know,
no,
they should have told the Knicks.
Masai's lost his touch.
Yeah, I guess they don't want him to get injured or anything. But yeah, Jesus, Dak overthrew Brandon Cooks there by
that was open
8 yards. Yeah,
that was open.
Big third down here. Season on the line. That looked like offside at the bottom of the screen.
No, just a little flinch. No neutral zone. Oh, baby. Oh, take it up. Melifont. This guy's like Troy Polamalu in his prime. I don't know. We got this guy up in Melifont who's coming off injured reserve, and he's
Do we? I want to see the replay here. I feel like Dak thought he had a free play.
I thought this was okay. I thought it was like when he got out of the pocket and threw it, I was like, oh, touchdown. Like our defense is completely on shambles here.
Honestly, same thing too. As soon as he broke the pocket and made that throw, I'm like,
oh, it's
someone must be wide open right now.
Yeah.
This is a funny comment. Milf Hunter says, if you told me Schoonmaker and Hendershot were guys who played for Notre Dame in the 50s, I'd believe you. Yeah. Oh, God.
Man. Oh, Schoonmaker, another Michigan man. Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God.
It's amazing that the Cowboys, after that season of Hard Knocks where McCarthy had to like justify the personnel moves to like Jerry and his son, I was like, it like shook me to my core about like how NFL teams draft and have acquire talent. Because I was like, how is this organization with Jerry Jones like basically signing off on all the personnel decisions, like acquiring being one of the most talented rosters in the league?
But I used to hate it, and then like all of a sudden I was just like, you know what? They figure out ways to just get they draft well for the most part. They're like, I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. But it like I don't know. They're able to like just find guys. And I was like, because you saw Al Davis, who was like, for most of his life was like this elite, owner pair of talent, and then like towards the end, he just lost his mind. It was drafting guys who like ran the 40 fast. And then, but Jerry, I don't know if they must have a good infrastructure around it because they still draft pretty well, fine talent stuff. So.
I'll never forget, Knish, 2013. I was working in sports media. Me and Jeff Feinberg were working together at the Score. We're huge NFL guys, but we're media, like radio dudes, right? Like as they exist nowadays. And the draft that year, the Cowboys had the 31st pick at the end of the first round, and they drafted a center, Travis Frederick, who at the time everybody had like a third or fourth round grade on. And I was depressed for like 3 weeks because everyone was Cowboys draft grades F. What the fuck are these guys thinking? Guy turned into an all-pro center.
That guy's going to go in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, basically he had like Guillain-Barré syndrome or whatever, like a rare disease that cut his career short or else he'd still be playing. But yeah, it turned out to be like amazing. And since that day, I just said to myself, you know what? I don't fucking know anything. Like I don't know anything. All these people are putting draft grades on people or whatever. I'm just going to let the Cowboys do what they do. Not a single replay, by the way, of this. We've come back from commercial break. You think we're ever going to see a replay of this offsides ever?
It must have not been. That's the conclusion I'm drawing. Is it what?
I'm going to have to rewind and look at this now. Also, I'm going to tell you what really tilts me. I'm sorry, Nathan.
Trolling the Gibbs running
I
back.
I really like Nathan here. But the people who think that Dak Prescott stinks, they got to get lost because there's like,
look at some of the guys that are playing on a weekly basis, like quarterback in the league. Like there's just
2 weeks ago, talking about the guy who could be the MVP.
You can't. I didn't think I'd be like, oh, Jared Goff, be like, oh, what would we do without him? So yeah, there's just Amon-Ra is unstoppable. There's not. It's a hard thing to do. There's just not a glut. Like there's just not in a long. I felt like at one point the league was really stocked with great quarterbacks for a short period of time, and that's kind of gone by the wayside.
You know who doesn't feast on shitty opponents? Most of the quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah,
they go up against bad defenses and they still look like pieces of trash. Like, I get it.
Oh
Boy.
Jameis.
Oh.
What do you think is driving the quarterback play issue macro level? I think it's just hard. Like,
Personally, I just believe that teams have, if you just look over the course of years, more and more teams are playing heavy zone schemes now.
yeah, I was gonna good. No, go ahead. Go finish the point. But
yeah, it's like, it's just been very clear if you go through the history of time and you look at like EPA by scheme, coverage scheme, man usually is not good, generally speaking. Now, some teams have the personnel that can play that, but other teams are just getting safer. Like, they're just playing to not give up big plays. And there's, think about, I go back like 10 years ago and I look at all the quarterbacks that were in the league and I ask myself, like, how many of these guys could consistently march down the field on 15 plays to score a touchdown? Like Jay Cutler. Like, it wasn't going to happen. It's just that was different styles of defense at that point. So, yeah. That's my thought. I think the Raptors.
No, I agree. Like, I think that's where I was going to, is like the prevalence of like we're just going to play two deep safeties almost all the time and make you like efficiently move down the field. It just kind of, it's totally like kind of changed the. Oh, Jerry got a little. I will say the one thing. Well, the two things. It's not prevalent here because there's no wind or rain, but Goff trying to like do anything off script, it just doesn't happen. Like, he just doesn't.
I love how you call him Jerry. That's my favorite thing. Oh, Jerry, what are you doing, Jerry? Yeah.
I would take Dak. You would take Dak over Goff, right? You've been a long time.
It's not even a converse. It's laughable to even suggest otherwise. Like, I don't,
because I feel like that wouldn't be like. I feel like that you would get pushback. I don't think it'd be a like roundly accepted. Like, everybody be like, oh yeah, Dak, easy.
For those that think Dak sucks, put together one message in the chat of all the quarterbacks that you think are better in the league right now, and let's see where we get.
I think if you're telling, like, from a clean pocket, who do I want in that situation of like everything's on schedule, clean pocket? Do I think Goff is a more accurate passer than Dak? Yeah. Everything else about playing quarterback, arm strength, elusiveness, like all the other things that go into it, you would want Dak just from a ceiling talent level.
Like all the arguments I get, I can't do this right now. I'm going to be in orbit, Jason, to rank the quarterbacks. But like, Goff made it to a Super Bowl. Dak can't win. It's like, Trent Dilfer
like
won a
that.
Super Bowl. Interesting. I like what you did
Fair
there.
point.
Joe A would be very proud of where we have him on the list there. I can't like, it's not even a biased Cowboys fan take. I can entertain that he has limitations, definitely. And do I trust Dak to go out on the road against a good defense and win a game? Like, no. If Dallas is going to win that game, it's probably going to be their defense that has to win them the game. But just go top. You can't call him a shit quarterback or a below average quarterback when you go through the league and you can't even name like 6 or 7 guys that are better than him.
I was going to say, like, you don't, like, you can't get to 10. Like, you just can't. So, I mean, it is what like he's never going to be number 1 or number 2, but you can poke holes in almost everybody outside of like a handful of guys.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's a handful anymore. It's like Patrick Mahomes and maybe a couple other the 10. Like, it's just, there's just not a depth of like this elite quarterback. Look at the MVP list this year. Like,
I know.
But Lamar Jackson hasn't even had like a great like statistical like, oh my God, year. It's like going to him by default by the team's record and like a couple of other guys in there. So
I think people are intentionally trying to cause me a stroke tonight. Like, I think people are intentionally trying to cause me a stroke.
That's true. Daniel Jones, you know what, got hurt earlier. Well, what could have been? Purdy or Dak?
Dak. I take Dak over Purdy.
I tell you what, maybe not after these first 2 drives here, because this Lions defense looks like the best they've looked about 12 weeks through the first quarter here.
This is the McCarthy. What's Tony Pollard going to end up in the negative yardage today?
It's so sad that by the time this is the one we just lathered up Jerry Jones, but they stuck with Zeke so long. By the time Pollard became the lead guy, he had lost all his juice. Like it should have been 4 years ago. He should have been the lead back.
You know what? I got to tell you, I was totally wrong on this one too. I was a big. That was a good ball. It was right in his fucking hands, Jake Ferguson's hands, right?
To Ferguson, a little, he's usually his hands all over one of the Cavendish sisters usually. So, he can't. Yeah, I can see why he's a little just distracted. That was a great ball, though. I mean, it
was a great seam ball. He put it exactly where it needed to be. That was good defensive play too by the safety.
Mel, Jesus Christ, guys like Ronnie Lott in his prime right now. Last few weeks. Playing.
That's a real Troy Polamalu play right there. Oh, get out of the end zone, Dak. Eyes up. Oh, baby. Look at that.
Oh, my God. What?
Woo! I never wanted to lose a prop so bad.
That's
what Dak can do, by the way. Jared Goff ain't making those plays. Jared Goff be fucking turtled in the end zone.
If that's the difference, it was a safety. If that's Goff, it's a safety.
Oh man, yeah. The under. Like I said, I've never been so happy to lose. CeeDee Lamb what's CeeDee Lamb first pick? Definitely not enough to play. I'll tell you that right now.
No.
Broken play. Whew.
Yeah, you can't let that. Lions defense sauce them up.
It's a couple books at 6-1 on CeeDee Lamb first. Still, I would not play a first touchdown at 6-1. You basically need like 20% of the time. 1 in 5 times he's going to score the first touchdown of the game for you to turn a small profit over time. Hard pass.
Yeah, no. Who was that just totally whiffed on the?
I don't know, but if
didn't even get a piece of him.
If the Italian stallion Alex Anzalone had a chance to make that tackle, it would have been.
He would have had him. He would have had Anzalone. I tell you, when he got signed that contract, we were like, "What is going on?" And then the guy's like he's having like a Pro Bowl season.
Yeah. Yep.
We do not have a Pro Bowl player in the secondary though, so.
No, you definitely don't.
I was seeing I was trying to depth chart Lions. We've cycled through so many bums on the defensive line. I don't even know who 55 is at the moment.
On the D line?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you by Lions numbers. I know that across of Hutchinson they have Kaminsky and they have the interior guys are Bugs and
Aleem McNeil when he's healthy.
Yeah, he's IR though. Which is a devastating loss for their defense.
Yeah, because we had he was like our only good defensive tackle to begin with. And we brought what's his name off the scrap heap?
55 is Derek Barnes.
Oh, that's why, because he's a Derek Barnes.
He's fucking Boilermaker, man. That's why.
Yeah, he's there. Bruce Irvin was the pass rusher we signed. We're like, when we signed him, I was like, oh my God, Bruce Irvin, he's got to be at least, he's 36, 30. I was like 30, how many guys even make it? Like a non-punter makes it to 36, and the guy's pass rushing, and he's been like our second most effective pass rusher since we signed him. So yeah, so bad. You got to make a little chicken salad with this defense.
Yep. Bruce Irvin was another one. When the Seahawks drafted Bruce Irvin, they were like, oh, good job, Pete Carroll. You took this guy in the first round that you could have had in the 4th round or the 5th round.
Yeah.
That was the big F grade that year. I remember that pretty clearly.
The Seahawks have done a lot of that with mixed results. Used to be a little bit better than it has been lately, but they're definitely not afraid to
when I was young, like when I
Serving
was in my
DM my high school girlfriend. Yeah, that doesn't.
well, that's
That doesn't
that's
surprise me.
DMing is fine. It just depends on what was going into those
Well,
DMs where you could cross.
I'm making some assumptions with that. Pistons, yep, Pistons won, baby. The streak is over. What a moment! What a moment!
That's got to be one of the Detroit's best sports moments in the last decade. Pistons breaking, what was it, 29 games? How many?
Pistons break the streak. Lions win the division. You just, City of Champions, baby. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah. Yep. Lions win the division. Yeah. I mean, those are pretty eventful moments for the city of Detroit. Did you by happenstance pick up some dog shit this week as well? That would have been the trifecta right there.
Let's not get crazy. I thought I bought some NFC North Championship swag for myself and my dad. I did that, but no, the dog. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I could. Oh, there she is. Yeah,
there we go.
I heard her barking a little bit before. Yeah.
Wondering. Let's go here. Wondering, when we're gonna let her out to terrorize the city later on.
Put her in a little Pistons jersey, and then it doesn't matter if she shits on people's lawns. They'll see the Pistons jersey and be like, "Yeah, it's okay. That's it. Let her go." Oh man,
how far do the Lions actually go? I think we can win probably 8. See, the thing that you need, if you really wanted to do it, is you needed that 1 seed, and you had the schedule to do it. You just lost a couple, like one less law, and I mean, I'm not saying you win this game, but if you could have rode it out at home indoors with that home crowd, I think you would have given yourself. But especially is Goff going to go into Philly or beat San Fran's defense on the road?
It could happen. It could happen.
It's not right. It's not impossible. It's not like the delta between them is. It's just you could have set yourself up a path where it felt more realistic. Also, the defense in the last 6 weeks is just. It went from treading water to oh my God, we're like a bottom 5 defense in the NFL.
This is what I'm rooting for this. I'll be honest. Stafford winning in Detroit would be.
Yeah, people are really. I like it. Bring him on, baby. We knocked that bum out. He wanted to leave town, so I'm all for bringing them back. Taking the Rams out. So
remember, it's also a Jared Goff revenge game as well. It's not just a Stafford revenge game. It's double revenge
game. No, it's not. Granted that. Not sure how well our defense would fare against that passing attack at the moment, but only one way to find out.
Yep. There's only one way to find out. Over 200 of you watching right now, and there's 105 likes on this stream. That's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Smash that like button down below. Let's get this up. YouTube likes when people like a bunch of shit at once. They serve it up to other people.
Nathan, I gotta tell you. People are already giving the Rams the crown there, but not so fast. So we'll see. But
yeah, the Rams will find a way to lose to Tyrod Taylor this week, and then people will just forget about everything that was related. The NFL is so up and down, man, over the course of a year. The way we talk about teams, and then we look back on them sometimes 3 weeks later, and we're like, what the hell was I thinking with that team? And that could be the case for either of these teams.
I'm cheering for the I gotta be honest with you. I'm Damar Hamlin, nice story, but Joey K set himself up with some positions that would be pretty. Hey, I'm glad the guy's not. Oh boy,
well, that was rough, man. They knew what was coming there. They knew what was coming there.
Yeah,
Dante Fowler. Okay, today, Ole Miss beats Penn State.
Yeah.
Bad. Did the market immediately steam towards Alabama after that happened?
No. I know our boy Fez there didn't. No, there was actually, if anything, it leaked a little towards Michigan in the last 24 hours. So No,
I saw that tweet yesterday, and I'm like, "There's no way it's going to immediately steam based off of this one result." Like,
Yeah,
not
no,
gonna happen.
it's if anything, it's actually gone a little bit oppo. So, but no, people were not running to smash. I mean, I don't think you can take much from that Ohio State game either. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't have a position in that one at the moment on the side, but
Knish, I'm not just saying this to pump your tires or anything like that. Find whatever Michigan alternate lines you can, because it's going to be a bloodbath.
you're all in on
I've watched like 20 college football games this year, and I think 4 or 5 of them were Bama games.
yeah.
They're not good.
It's not
They're-
vintage Bama. It's definitely not
they're
vintage
not
Bama.
good.
I'm not matchup wise there's some things that I think scare me, but I agree just overall it's definitely not it's not your older brother's Alabama team that was unstoppable, but
It pains me to say it because there's a lot of Pizzolas in Columbus, a lot of Buckeye fans. You don't know that. I don't know if I ever told you that, but it's
no.
the truth. But
How did so many Pizzolas end up in Columbus?
it's a good question. And I never got the history from my dad.
Oh.
But it's just there. So I could never cheer for Michigan. But with money on the line, completely different story.
Right. That's the great equalizer.
So I'll do the smartest thing. I'll wait till post. And when the limits are as high as they possibly can be, bet into the most efficient market possible and lay the wood with Michigan. That's what's happening.
Hey, well, you gotta listen. You gotta wait till the end to get enough of a piece there for the Michigan, the homer there. So I don't blame you, especially with the price of Bitcoin now. You might as well Pistons outright, baby. Yeah, I was gonna say we our friend Juan, he got a little Pistons for us as well there at one place that might have been a little slow to pull the trigger. So yeah, I had a couple people on the Pistons tonight. What a shame for that book. But who's Michigan beat? Tommy, I'm not sure if you watched Penn State, Maryland, who beat Auburn by about 800 points today, who Alabama need a miracle against. Ohio State, great program. So also Bowling Green, another bowl team. UNLV, bowl team.
I'm not a bet against the public guy. I never make my bets that way. But the confidence level in the chat right now on the fact that Alabama, like everyone loves Alabama.
And it's definitely the public side. People are gonna love the Bama side of I might just join you on Michigan. I think I'm
gonna find an outline right now, I think.
Yeah.
I don't want the regular spread. I want to root for a beatdown. I want to see Saban in fucking tears.
I like it too. I like it.
Big time. I'm just handicapping based off of my favorite handicapper.
That's what. Hey, listen. When you're part of a big time syndicate, that's what you do. Is fade the public.
I don't know if I ever talked to you about this. That video, the Simon Hunter circles off one,
yeah,
still gets views every month, like a few thousand views, up to like 15K.
Did he ever? I remember you guys asked him to come on, and he.
Well,
did it.
The truth is,
yeah,
this is the honest truth. We filmed the episode without him because it was an honest reaction episode. People are like the idea came from someone else where they messaged me and they're like, "Oh, you guys got to react to this thing. It's way out of left field."
Yeah, that was
like,
good.
Okay, well,
that was good. Yeah, that was good. I wish we had more content, like more people would put out stupid stuff like that to react to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the thing is, I could pick any one of his videos.
Right.
Sure
But then you'd be beating the same
beating a
nail
dead horse. Yeah, it's Whereas PETA
that was a great one though.
I'd be feeding a fed horse. Sorry, PETA.
Yeah, because it had so much. Like there was just so many ways to attack. Like it was just a gold mine that kept giving.
Yes. Exactly.
But anyway, he never.
So we recorded that.
Yeah.
And then we reached out to him after we had recorded. Zach did, and said, "Hey, just so you know, we did a reaction to this. We'd love to see if you'd be able to, if you want to come on and, defend yourself or talk about it a little bit more." And he waited until the episode came out, but he saw the thumbnail, which is a picture of his face, and it says exposed. And he's like, he basically commented on that. He's like, exposed, no thank you, not going to do it or whatever. So he turned it down because of the thumbnail of the video. But that video still draws views every month, but it's from people who worship Simon Hunter. Because it's coming from people who are like searching Simon Hunter on YouTube.
Yeah.
So the comments on that, like, I could contract hepatitis B from reading those comments. They're like, people think Simon Hunter is like Billy Walters.
He's really sold up the bit. Like, if you didn't know, right? Like, if you weren't, you hadn't been around in the, like the serious gambling for a while, or in these niches that we're in, like, you might be like, oh wait, this guy talks a great game.
I think about it a lot, and like, how did this come to be? I don't know all the details of it, but I think I actually blame Chad Millman more than Simon Hunter, because Simon had to convince somebody that he was like a pro bet, and like Millman, I don't think knows any better. He's just like, yeah, sure. Let's
like, where did he? I wasn't aware of him before. Like, this kind, like, where did it all start? Like,
I think Chad Millman was ESPN beforehand.
Oh no, I know Millman, but like, did Millman like bring on Hunter out of like when he had like no following and just like?
All right, I'm gonna read his experience here really quick. Hunter first started betting on sports in high school, then while working on a reality TV show filming in Las Vegas as a college student. Hunter then decided to make sports betting his career. Oh. He began refining his craft while working as an independent runner for pro bettors, living off and on in Las Vegas for 7 years until moving back to New Jersey when Governor Phil Murphy signed the state sports betting bill into law. Hunter joined Action in 2019 after reaching out to Chad Millman about how he could help the Action Network's chief of content improve his picks on NFL spreads and over-unders. He literally reached out to Millman and said, yeah, I can help you improve your
call. Just, fake it to make it, baby. I mean, Chad, I can help you on NFL sides and totals.
The irony about the entire thing is that since he's joined, they both have a public record, which they keep on Action Network. Chad Millman's record is 1,000,000 times better than Simon's over a massive sample of like 1,000 picks. I'm like, at some point he's got to see that maybe this guy was just like feeding him bullshit. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I love the front office, Scotty. Yeah, the front office was less believable than the breakdown, the circles off breakdown pod. Like, you guys had to know thing. The front office thing was like legitimately like, I was telling front office, like giving them consulting with them for draft info. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? At least the syndicate stuff, you can kind of play it up, and like it's a little harder to debunk. But yeah, I was telling guys Anthony Richardson was the pick. But Jerry Jones called me and was wondering what I thought on the QB board.
But this could be debunked in like 2 seconds, because very obviously, if you were going to be like consulting for an NFL team, you wouldn't be able to bet on the NFL draft, which he's firing off NFL draft bets like as part of his content. Like anyone with a brain would be able to figure that out at the very least. He's a pathological liar, man. That's
right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, the duffel bag.
No. It wasn't 15K. It was 5K. It wasn't 50. I don't know if anyone's ever seen five. If you don't deal with
that, right, like that, yeah, maybe.
If you don't deal with cash regularly, like, it's not to insult you, but when you're betting on sports and like you deal with cash, you can put 5K in your pocket very easily without any issue. You do not need to give guys duffel bags to go to the casinos and bet 5K. What happened here? Your boy Jordan Lewis. Oh, wow. He made a play this year. It's got to be the first play he's made all year. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Goff.
You know what the worst part about that was? I took, was that Montgomery? Yeah, I was throwing Montgomery. I have Montgomery over receiving yards. Wow.
That was
tough break. Tough break. Real tough break.
Yeah, Jerry's not having a day.
Well, neither is Dr. Eric Eager. Being accused by
I haven't gotten a script of NFC North title since we done, but congratulations to all the believers like ourselves.
Some new, Knish.
Some new, baby. Yes, I was gonna say Dr. Eager being he's gonna be one of those Fox News doctors that have been for bullying, online bullying now. He's gonna lose his practitioner.
Well, in fairness, it was Joe A who called out the entire Hammer Betting Network.
I saw, yeah.
But I think it was some Eager tweets recently that have triggered him a lot. So I think it was mostly
I went on Washington radio like week 6 and thought nothing of it. Didn't think it. They're like, so Eric Eager, what do you think of Sam Howell? And I'm like, I think he's probably a backup quarterback in the NFL. Like, I'm like playing the odds here. And of course, the whole thing happens where they like put it on every single goddamn podcast feed. And then Joe A like just literally like subtweets me and is like, Howell's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL this year. Eric remains a terrible evaluator. And I'm like, guys, like this one, I'm literally the sports book on this one. Like I'm Sam Howell is what, laying minus 140 at best to be a starting quarterback. I'm the sports book here and everybody's coming after me. So of course he gets benched and I just start I'm petty like you, Knish. So I just like start tweeting.
I know. I enjoy it very much.
Like I don't even think Howell's that bad. In fact, I like our simulations liked Washington coming in the year, but like I was just it was an easy thing that he would be a backup in the NFL. He's small, he takes a lot of sacks. He's a 5th round pick.
There's a couple things in the sports betting space. If you are going to give controversial takes and not back them up with anything other than just telling people that they don't see what you see, then I'm sorry. Like you have to be able to just deal with you cannot come out and say that Jacoby Brissett is a 4-point downgrade from Sam Howell. Like you can't do that.
Or that Jared Stidham is a 3-point upgrade from Russell Wilson. You also can't always pick the white quarterback over the black quarterback in every single comparison, which is what Joe does. And that's a little like he's got a type for sure.
Yeah, it's got a type. That's one way to phrase it.
Well, either way, I mean, I sympathize for people who are bullied. I try to watch my words a lot more than I used to, for sure. But when you're out there and you put yourself on the line and you are an instigator and then cannot accept what comes back to you, then I have a real problem.
So that's the whole thing. Like, and I know he's on this network and I like him as a guy, right? But like people bully Sharp Clark. Sharp Clark's not an asshole to anybody. He might say some things where you're like, what? But he's not a jerk, right? Joe A is a jerk. When somebody asks him like, when are you going to get off Howell? He's like, never. These people are idiots. It's like, okay, you kind of invite this, right? Like,
the Jake Browning is greater than Joe Burrow takes. Those were out there for a while as well. But yeah, like it's, what bothers me about, there's a lot of people out there who they just fall back on like, well, I watch tape. It's like, everyone watched it. We all watch the games. There's a million people who watch tape in the NFL. Like, what are your eyes seeing? Like, explain it, or just explain it a little bit more. And unfortunately, hasn't been able to do that. But yes, Eric Eager, now a cyber bully.
All right, fellas, I'm popping off. Enjoy the game and go Lions. If it doesn't happen, we'll see you in the playoffs.
Good luck,
Joey Knish, everyone. Oh man. Yes.
So Rob, you look like you're feeling better. It's happy to have you on.
Yeah, I got my cashews going for me again tonight. You see, I took a pretty big dent. I've only eaten these on streams, and I've been going to town. Throat's bothering me a little bit. I made myself a Bengal spiced tea. Just doing what I can, take care of the body. Tomorrow night's going to be a drinking night. Got to do what I can, Eric. But feeling a little bit better for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's sort of funny. Like my buddy got me comedy tickets for tomorrow. So I actually am going to miss some of the Green Bay, Minnesota game, which ironically is like where I'm at right now. So, but yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's game should be cool, especially like how dumb is it that they have Miami, Baltimore at 1? But honestly, it's probably good for the slate. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. Like I'll watch the night game, but I'll be tied up doing other things altogether. I'm fine with the way that it worked out. In a perfect world, if it wasn't New Year's Eve, Miami Baltimore should be the Sunday night game without question. But it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's not. It works out well. It's probably going to screw the league a little bit, but it's not. Yeah, and Green Bay, Minnesota. Like, look, if things work out weirdly tomorrow, that game could mean a lot more or a lot less than what it's actually worth. So. What do you think about Tampa Bay versus New Orleans? Do you think that like that one's the one for me that I'm going to have an eye on because like basically it closes off a lot of basically all the NFC South futures, but it also impacts the Sunday night games, you know, how much that matters.
I think New Orleans is live in the game. I think Tampa Bay's kind of reached a point where they're maybe a little bit overrated. The Shaq Barrett injury to me is very big for Tampa. Carlton Davis hasn't had a great year, but they're like really not deep at corner outside of Jamel Dean either. So like those are pretty impactful injuries. Are the Saints going to be the team that, you know, exploits that? I'm not sure necessarily, but this is their best chance. I like the Saints took money this week, and it's not surprising to me. Oh my God, don't tell me CeeDee Lamb just fumbled out the end zone.
No.
Dude, we're about to see it. We're up. CeeDee Lamb just caught a ball at the 1. Okay. Now, wait. Before people start going nuts here about what I'm going to say. I've had this take forever now. It's just happened that it's happening in a game involving my favorite team. Yeah, he definitely fumbled out the end zone. It's definitely.
I have so much CeeDee Lamb in best ball, and like this is the final week of best ball. So I really would have loved 2 touchdowns there.
I hate this rule. Like this to me is just such a steep
and he wasn't
punishment.
He didn't just fumble it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a catch? 1, 2 football. Yeah, that's a catch. That's a catch.
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't it seem like such a bad punishment, like just a not fair punishment. Like take them back to like the 10-yard line or something, you know?
Mm-hmm. So I've been like at times like fairly opinionated funny about this. Like there's 2 sides of me. I don't have a problem morally with it. Like it's the end zone is the end zone, right? Like that last yard like is worth more expected points than all the yards before it. But like, so if you fumble out of the end zone, that's to me, it's like, it's just a quirk of the game. But if you had to re-rack like all the rules, you would like, it's sort of like drinking and smoking, right? Like if you remade the world from scratch, there's no way that marijuana would have been illegal and alcohol would be legal, right? But you know, the way it is, right? So if you were to like restart football from scratch, there's no way that would be the rule they came up with. No way.
I'm with you. With the marijuana illegal or legal commentary, it just made me think that if Josh Gordon was born like 10 years later, what a career that guy would have.
Yeah, we're talking about him as like a Hall of Famer. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man, that was tough for him. Although you got to know the rules when you're a player. If it's not legal, just don't do it. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's as simple.
Goff isn't getting a lot of help from his guys today, and he sucked too. But like he has, those are some. The tight end has been played kind of like shit.
Well, I spent the majority of the first quarter trying to defend why Dak Prescott is better than Jared Goff. So that's where I'm at tonight. The nails have really let me down tonight. I'll tell you that. There was way too much Dak slander, and then he throws that dime to CeeDee for the touchdown, and it couldn't have happened at a better time.
You remember last year when we did the pregame and the halftime streams, and you and I were saying that Dak was the best quarterback in the NFC, and people were like somewhat offended by that. Like that seems to have aged okay.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like I don't agree with it. Like Milf Hunter says Goff feels like the new. No, I think Kirk Cousins is way better than Jared Goff.
Yeah, you'd rather have Cousins than Goff.
Oh wow.
And I'm not a huge Cousins guy, but like,
oh, we got a little trick play here.
We'll razzle dazzle.
On 4th and 2. I mean, Dan Campbell loves this stuff, man.
Oh, he's got a guy too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Dan Campbell.
I
always tries to win.
Honestly, I love this move for Dan Campbell. I hate this move as a Cowboys fan, but like, Dan Campbell loves to do this shit. Like he loves to do this shit. I could deal with that play happening and like the receiver makes a great catch and the D knows it's coming. For them to get caught off guard on that, really.
And the other part is, how is it the gunner? Jalen Tolbert has one responsibility on that play, which is to jam the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
And he comes up on a run play to Jalen Reeves-Maybin. There's no way he's running it.
Yeah. You know what, Milf Hunter? Maybe I'll do the exercise with Eric in this quarter at some point. Jason, let's go back to the tier ranker, and we're doing QBs at some point. We got to do this, and we got to find out what the line is. The worst good QB. We could. Oh my God, there's so many of them.
Sam Howell's an ass. Now we're bullying Joe. I see. We can't have that. Jason.
That was producer Jason, aka Porn Guy. That was not us. We're not responsible for the.
Did you saw what I wrote? You saw what I wrote in our Telegram chat. The chancellor of the university, when I was professor, got caught doing porn. Like literally got fired 6 months before his retirement. He couldn't wait 6 months. He just hit send on all that stuff.
I had not read that yet. So this is the first I'm finding out about that.
I read it. It was hilarious. They had like an OnlyFans cooking show. It was some of the funniest thing I read on the entire year.
OnlyFans cooking show.
It was crazy. Yeah, where they cook with
the backstory is this guy met his wife because she was on the search committee to make him the chancellor. So she was like literally a professor at the university. And then she became his chief of staff, and then he got divorced and married her. So, like, very clearly a shady guy, but not. Yeah, I feel like posting porn to the internet's like the least offensive thing he's done since I was there.
Fair enough. I'm sweating here. They're gonna run the ball. They did.
Yeah.
Oh, we got him in the backfield. Okay. All right, back to the 5.
Do you have an anytime on one of these guys?
I do, but it's a long shot, and we won't see it from this. I have Khalif Raymond anytime.
Okay.
But like we won't see it from here. I doubt we'll see it from here at the very least. A lot of the 3 wide receiver sets here, they don't tend to use Raymond.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have the Laporta is somebody who we have in our portfolio.
I thought about Laporta. So of the top tier of guys, I would have taken Laporta out of anyone. It was like I kind of saw him at like plus 175 relative to everyone else in that range. St. Brown 145, Ferguson 145, Gibbs 120. I'm like, but I just wasn't enough.
Goff trying to throw a pick 6 to the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he tried to fit it into Laporta there for
the fellas.
3rd and goal. Oh yeah, you love the handoff on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, they're like woke 3rd down run that works every once in a while.
How many times it also like when your quarterback nearly throws an interception, is the next play just always a run? Like
just
I can't
give up play.
Yeah, it's like no, we're not having this happen again.
Yeah, I think do you think that the Lions have kind of nailed this where they've obviously like won their first division title in 30 years, right? That had to be something that they wanted to do. But like none of this season, right? Remember we were talking about like Goff tickets early in the year being, good buys. Like nothing that's happened this year makes you want to buy into Goff long term, does it? Like, so this has almost been perfect, right? There's like no pretense about Goff being the long term guy, and yet they've still won games, and they're not like a perfect team either. Like they can go into the offseason, and because they're fairly sharp, I think Brad Holmes is pretty good, and Campbell clearly isn't an idiot. Like, they're going to actually try to improve this thing.
Yes, they have to. I mean, they're going to lose Ben Johnson, but like they have to try not to lose Ben Johnson.
Yeah. I think I believe he makes more than Campbell. That is what I've heard.
Wow. Wouldn't surprise me.
And I think the same thing's true, Rob, about I think Dan Quinn makes head coach money. And that's one of the reasons he hasn't left Dallas yet. So I think those two guys were guys that like the team bought into based upon, obviously not wanting to lose him.
I'm fine with Quinn as a DC, but I think whoever hires him as a head coach is not gonna be happy with that. All right,
They're
big
going
fourth down here. They're good. They snapped it. Goff eluded a sack. Wow, I'm surprised there was no flag there. Laporta was targeted. All right.
They're going to Laporta.
Yeah. There's some people who took the over in this game that are just not going to understand how this is even possible right now. There's 350 yards in the game and there's 10 points. Yeah. Vinny says it. Over bettors in shambles. It's the classic fuck around and find out type of game. I do have to fill in JM here in the chat who says, how does Rob know that the M in M Hunter stands for MILF?
Wasn't it obvious?
It should be very obvious, but for those who don't know and are like more new to this chat, Suma was on with us like early in the season, and he just kept referring to him as MILF Hunter for
it was just like in his brain.
It was like just there, and it just stuck. It most certainly does not stand for MILF, but unfortunately fortunately.
One of these times. But look, the sanctity of this chat, I mean, the number of like repeat people I see on every single stream, like this is great, Yeah.
I would be tempted to look at a live over right now.
Yeah.
Personally.
Right. Well, especially because anything that happens on this next drive is like pretty over friendly because either Dallas drives the length of the field and scores, which is going to put Detroit in we can't just keep running the ball type of thing, or Detroit's going to get good field position, right? Like those are two outcomes that I think are fairly reasonable here, right?
I just don't love this. This number is 43. I actually thought it would be lower than that. We're at 10 points here.
Yeah, so 43 requires at least, like, let's say
it's 5 touchdowns, basically.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I know.
Yeah. But like, who stopped whom? Like, it's basically just been the only stops that these quarterbacks give up usually are just they throw picks, which are going to be good for this. Yeah.
So it was field goal for Detroit, interception for Dallas, which they were like in the red zone.
Yeah.
Then there was the punt, touchdown Dallas,
touchdown, pick.
Another punt.
No, Detroit did the pick. Oh yeah, and then 2 punts. Okay.
Yeah. Because they were short drives. They were like 3 and outs for both teams. That happened really quick. That's another thing. These 3 and outs happen like quickly. They take like a minute off the clock when they do.
Yeah, and you're just like one bad punt away from like decent field position.
Yeah.
I just saw the tweet that like announced the second quarter. Notorious. That's funny. Yeah.
That announced. Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah. You're
Jason's on his game today with Andy Molitor's picture as well.
Oh, I was dying of laughter when I saw that. I know Andy's the type of guy that won't find that offensive either. Another joke from the stream, if people do remember. Andy was packing heat when he was what was he doing there? Zip lining.
Was he like hunting?
He was zip lining. And the apparatus which locks you in created a very large bulge.
Have you ever been ziplining?
Many times, yes.
The only time I've ever done it was in Vegas, in the old Vegas for like 5 or 6 years ago.
You did the Fremont Street experience there.
Correct.
I've done zip lining in many. I'm scared of heights, but I like thrills. It's really weird. I just kind of just force myself to do it, and like I love roller coasters, but as we're going up, I'm not too happy. But I've done zip lining several times. I enjoy it. It's kind of cool. Although I have seen I did zip lining in Costa Rica before, and then a month later saw some video of a zip line breaking in Costa Rica, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do it in Central
Might
America.
not do that ever again.
Yeah.
No, my kids like doing. They like going to Kings Island or Six Flags and stuff and riding rides. So I still do. I still get a little bit of an upset stomach doing it now that I'm older. But
that's the thing. Like when I live 10 minutes from Canada's Wonderland, which is owned by Cedar Parks, same company that owns Cedar Point. And I used to go there every day when I was in summer of high school, or because that's where I used to meet girls and whatever. It was our thing. I used to ride rides every day nonstop. And then you just hit a certain age and you're like, what happened to my body? I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Those were good times.
Cedar Point is the GOAT, by the way. If I could recommend one park to anyone, it would be Cedar Point.
Yep. We got Pollard actually with an explosive carry there for once.
Saw someone.
When he says no one broke stride, who didn't break stride?
Well, I mean, when people ask me to
workers
describe,
are just
yeah, I don't. We need more clarification, James. I kind of think I know what you're getting at, but maybe a little bit more clarity would help there. Oh man, that was too good.
Why do they give the ball to Pollard? Ugh.
Oh, he's gonna get he got sacked there, big time.
Yeah,
Hutchinson.
The over game
Hutchinson
script.
gets home. Yep.
The over game script, not the greatest after that sack, right? Because you're going to get one grindy drive by Detroit now before the end of the half.
If I was going to try to pick up a girl using betting lingo, I would definitely not be asking for markets that I don't even want to talk about anymore. That's for sure.
Has that conversation got bad on it was an everyday knockdown drag out that was insane to me.
It still is, and the problem is so many people have bet that market now that they're invested and rooted in their original opinions.
Well, and the other part that sucks about it is most of those markets are not good markets to bet into. If you don't actually they're not you don't get good positions in that market. The over round is pretty big. I don't know.
Right.
The coach of the year market stuff hasn't been that. I don't think that's been all that toxic. People are a little bit against Stefanski, which makes no sense, right? He's the coach of the year, but
yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Maybe I picked a bad point of argument today, but for me, it was well, if you're the first team to ever make the playoffs with 4 different starting quarterbacks in a season, you deserve a lot of credit for that. And then someone mentioned to me, well, what happens if
it's 4 quarterbacks starting multiple games, which to me is even more impressive.
Right. But if Vikings could do the same thing.
True. Yeah.
If Jared Hall because he's already started one game and got hurt. And so technically see what I'm saying? It's to me, that was a very obvious argument, but I don't even consider Kevin O'Connell in the discussion.
But even then, they don't have, and I got in trouble for this list, that their offensive line has no players, when I mean they have no tackles, but they don't have running back 1. The other day it was a wide receiver 1, both tackles at times. Njoku tried to burn his face off midseason, right? They have no Nick Chubb. Defense has gone without Denzel Ward. They've been good kind of across the board, even with injuries basically to everybody.
I have a very maybe it's a very unique way that if you gave me a vote, here's what I would do. I'm a big believer in the efficiency of the NFL betting market. I would take what each team was rated at the start of the year, going into the year for the first few weeks of the season, and I would compare that to the end of the year in like their most meaningful games and which team improved the most. Because to me, that's a very like coaching influences the entire year performance. I would personally vote, and he's not going to win. He's not going to win, but I would vote for Kyle Shanahan as coach of the year.
Because their market, I mean, when you look at anybody's power ratings, they move the most positively, right? Even though they're the best.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, we were so down on San Fran. Like Seattle has a chance to beat them in the division. Like there was a lot of negativity.
Well, Rass's first play was a Pittsburgh, basically what, +1 first half against them at home.
It was +2.5. Steelers closed +2.5 to the 49ers in week 1.
And when it got their doors blown off, right? Like that. Yeah. And that's a really good. So one question I have, because is your answer to that question like clouded a little bit by the fact that like there's quarterback improvements that we almost always attribute to the coach then? Like because DeMeco Ryans Texans, like they're not going to finish that way, but that's another candidate, right? Yes. And I think we're all saying that's like changes in fundamental quarterback point spread match. You know what I'm saying? So like, is there a way to tease apart those two with like a model? You know, that'd be an interesting one.
It really is tough to separate the quarterback and the coach. Like personally, I would never, even though I bet Brock Purdy or whatever it was, end of November, I would have never voted for Brock Purdy for MVP. I don't think I would vote for Tua for MVP because I think so much of what they do is coaching related. However, in fairness, I thought about that like with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I thought so much of what Brady did was because Belichick was the best coach, and we've learned that that's not the case either. So it is really tough when we get into those types of situations, but I don't know. Like it's just a weird year because like a lot of times these are really obvious, right? And it's just not this year. It's been a very distinctly different season.
Well, and like we never even consider breaking up Mahomes and Reed until like you get one downturn or something like that, right? Like we've never, like Mahomes' entire 2018 season, no one was like, well, it's partially Andy Reid, right? Because we saw Andy Reid got Alex Smith to the passing title with passer rating, which isn't the same. And then Patrick basically on a per play basis, like doubled his EPA. Right. And so we're all like, okay, clearly Reid is doing great things, but Patrick like doubles all the great things he's doing. So yeah, it's always been a weird discussion. One of the things, hopefully people in the chat will appreciate this. One of the things that we want to put, if you look at sumersports.com, we have like yards created, which is like RYOE for running backs. And that uses some play-by-play stuff to make, to adjust, the yards you expect out of a player. Big punt return there. But, and what we're thinking of doing next year is having a model for the number of rushing yards that are created by a quarterback when he hands the ball off. So you could do like some mixed effect modeling and do that. So, and then the other one that we want to do is the amount of EPA passing an offensive coordinator is responsible for and like break those up. So like right now, you can see some like above expectation metrics and like those make a lot of sense. Quarterback design runs are a little weird in the database and stuff. But if you look at quarterbacks, for example, so like that EPA number, what you want to do is break that 131 by Purdy or 141 by Purdy into like coach plus QB.
Got it. Yep.
And that to me would add something that no one else actually has on their website, and do the same for rushing. So like,
but did you ever play the game though, Eric? Did you ever play the game? Because that's going to be the same argument before. Oh, the nerds are out there trying to make these new, but they never played the game. You did play the game though. I didn't play the game.
I did. I was at one point athletic. But like, and then for the run game, because like the thing about Lamar, you catch this too, right? Like Lamar's a hard player to model because you don't have the precedent.
Right.
Like Lamar is like Ohtani, right? Like Ohtani, you have how do you put together Ohtani's WAR? Is he a pitcher who hits well, or is he a DH that pitches every once in a while? And like it's more than both of those, I would say, if you added them up, because of like but there's no replacement level Ohtani.
Right.
There isn't a guy you shove in there in his stead that's going to pitch and hit. And so it's like with Lamar, it's the same thing. It's like the last quarterback to rush for 1,000 did so majority on scrambles. And so like, yeah.
I'm trying to think of other athletes as well. I think it's actually a really good exercise because we have these arguments pretty regularly, and it would be nice to be able to fall back on something to say, well, this guy carries this guy, or like they're equally valuable in this type of operation or whatever. Andy wants to know about why was it in Mahomes' first year no one said he was only good because of skill and coach? Prime Kelsey, prime Tyreek Hill, Andy Reid, but no one brought that up.
I think people brought it up. But yeah, I think they didn't because their offense was such an outlier relative to everybody else. Like that's why it's coming up with Purdy. But like even those, if I have to look back, but like those Mahomes offenses were even more efficient than that. And we all saw like Andy Reid was winning 66% of his games with Alex Smith. It's winning 80% of them with Mahomes, 75% of them with Mahomes. So like everybody could see like the uptick a lot more acutely, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
J-Mo,
it's an
that
interesting
kind of
question. Yeah, I don't want JMO catches. I got a good price on him under receptions. But here's another one. Thoughts on Antonio Pierce as a head coach? I have thoughts.
So I said this on the last Sumer Sports Show. I am never in favor of hiring interim coaches because the reason you hire an interim coach is because the vibes got better when he took over, right? And the problem with that is that the vibes are all inclusive. But imagine if you're like a linebacker coach or an OC or a DC and you take over the head coach job and you do a good job. That's the reason they want you around. If you ever get your chance to be a head coach in the NFL, are going to pick your assistants. There have been people all around the league. They're your guy. They're like, if I ever get a head coaching job, I'm going to give you, whatever. So you're going to have to fire people on the staff that were partially responsible for keeping you and getting you elevated there. And that's going to piss off the vibes that were the only reason you got the job in the first place. So I'm almost entirely against hiring an interim coach. And just for that reason.
For me with Pierce, it's that he, to me, has very much an old school mentality. It's like run the ball, play defense type of coach. I would personally never want that for my team. But also, like, how many times is your team going to just generate like defensive touchdown? Like they've generated 4 defensive touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. It's all smoke and mirrors with the Raiders right now. Like it's a bad football team. It actually reminds me of where the Broncos were maybe 6 weeks ago before we started realizing, okay, the Broncos actually still do suck. And when they don't generate 1 million turnovers a game, they're just not good. And that's kind of where the Raiders are right now. It's like they're not really playing well. They're generating I don't want to call it just luck, but you can't rely on that going forwards.
Yeah, exactly. And the other, and also, why would you also fire the GM in hindsight, right? Because the players were either good enough or they weren't. And the situation was, the path, the team building exercises you went through either good or they weren't. Like, I don't understand like kind of the partial thing. You probably privy to it. Like Dallas had one of the most successful interim head coaches turned into the main guy job, and Jason Garrett. And like Jason Garrett was never a plus coach.
I would say that he was not even a minus coach. He was below that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was like.
I get PTSD when I see him on NBC. Like that's how bad he was.
Yeah. Are the Cowboys going for it here? Let's see.
Second and 20 seconds left. No, they're not going to be going for it here. Especially not with Dak taking another sack here. But the same thing happened with Hurts last year. Actually, Eric was bringing this up last year, generally speaking, with Hurts. We talked about this a lot. How much of this was him versus just the product of having like everything around him. that was the whole conversation in terms of, quarterbacks on a rookie contract and the way that you're able to build a team around them. So,
yeah, I mean, most quarterbacks on a rookie deal are going to be suspect when you hold them up over quarterbacks not on a rookie deal, right? Like that's pretty plain, isn't it?
yeah. Yep.
And you should and even with Mahomes, but I think like we all saw that Mahomes had like these special, like, because the other part was that he was so different too. Like the whole, at the time, like all the playmakers in the league were kind of, even with, because Rodgers had kind of declined a little bit. So it was like Breeze, Brady. We had just seen Manning retire, Rivers, like all pocket guys. And Mahomes kind of like gave you this Brett Favre, but not the turnovers thing. And that was pretty different. And then like, as the whole league followed suit, like changed who they were to try to stop him, you kind of knew it was different. Like the league is never going to like try to stop a Shanahan offense. They're just going to like take their lumps against it and try to outscore it.
Right. Yep.
Like you're not going to start seeing more three linebacker sets. Like they're like everybody's going to gravitate towards the offense that is sustainable, and robo quarterbacks can like that's the offense that everybody's going to trend towards stopping in the future. It's never going to be like the Stefanski offense, the Shanahan offense, the LaFleur. Like no one, like that's an offense that, when the players are healthy can really rake. And when the players aren't, we see with San Francisco, it just falls apart because it's so fragile.
Right. I'm trying to see when a second half line comes out here. There are live lines on the game right now with a total anywhere between 36.5 and 38. So we can expect the second half line to be in that range, probably around 27. It's not going to be. You like when the totals are that high, you just need like everything to go right.
Yeah.
And right now, things are not going right.
Detroit only having 3 points is a pretty big L in the first half.
Jason, if you can, when you get a chance, if we could get the running backs don't matter success rates and EPA stuff, I'd be very curious to see, because Dallas's like yards per play is going to be heavily skewed by the CeeDee Lamb touchdown. They're at 8 yards per play right now, but they scored whatever that bomb was, like 92 yards. Detroit, like these third down plays, these runs have just not been working out for them. Yeah, like the offense has not actually been.
Yeah. Dallas has a 50%. Dallas has a 55% pass success rate with 0 EPA, which feels that must be off then.
No, because it's the interception and the fumble through the end zone. The fumble through the end zone will count as well. So
and it doesn't count on Dak. So when you look at the quarterback page,
correct.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So they're 0. They're dead. Basically average passing. Rushing's been a privilege, but that's who Pollard is at this point.
And we got a 27 as the number at Pinnacle, which is like not going to do anything with that. Cowboys -2.5, -150 money line. Honestly, I think very well priced.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Who got the ball first? Was it Detroit?
Detroit got it first. They went down and they kicked the field goal. Yeah.
So that's the over out, right? Is that Dallas drives down and scores, makes Detroit not be a bunch, because right now Detroit has like some plausible deniability as far as they can run it because they're only down by a score.
Yeah. Yeah. Jared Goff, first half, 7 of 15 for 81 yards and the interception. Chosen brings up a good point. Yeah, they only have 81 yards if you take out the fake punt as well. So it's not like they've been passing the ball effectively either. Yeah. But Eric, appreciate you joining.
Hey, have a happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Take care. See ya. Bye.
Eric Eager, Sumer Sports, everyone. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the second half here. I mean, you just get good lines every now and then, and it's hard to find some sort of edge. 27 is pretty high, but both teams have explosiveness. And like, you would hope that they can get away from these dumb running plays that teams are they're just realizing that it's not going to work. No bet for me. No bet for me on this one.
I got to ask, you guys are talking about coach of the year, and I want to ask Eric, but I know you have to run, so I don't want to hold him back here. I want to let you guys go here. But week 17 now. Some teams have already played. We had some takes here on this channel about the comeback player of the year market. We talked about the coach of the year market earlier. Now I want to bring up the comeback player of the year market. Have you changed your tune at all on the comeback player of the year market? Do you think Joe Flacco can pull out the award with one game left?
Oh, yeah, he definitely can. I don't know how this is going to go. I honestly don't know.
No, fair.
I think that, because a lot of the voting is public, I do think that there is like a percentage of the vote that DeMar Hamlin is just going to get because of optics. Because obviously it's not for play on the field, but that to me matters to a lot of voters. And I don't know how things are going to go. I don't know. I can't. It changes so frequently, and no one has any idea. It's all just.
Yeah, I know you hate. I know you hate talking about it. I had to bring it up though because I feel like my fellow tribe member Jeff Feinberg would have gotten mad at me if I did not. So had to do right by him and just ask. I know you don't like. I mean, the awards markets at this point, dude, just towards the end of the year, it's just talked about ad nauseum.
Right.
But yeah.
What are you gonna do? Andy Mulliner is going to join us very shortly here. Barry Horse released the under in the second half as well. Just watching this Jimmy Johnson induction here. Finally got him in the Ring of Honor. I was a big Jimmy Johnson fan growing up. I didn't really understand the nuances of football and the politics behind things and whatever. Couldn't really make sense of Jimmy Johnson not being the Cowboys coach anymore when I was 7 years old. Hit me hard. Jerry saluting him. It was a good bow, too. It wasn't a shit bow. It was a good bow by Jerry Jones there. Very important. He's basically giving out his Wikipedia. You just read this stuff. They went from being very bad to being very good. I get it. Emmitt Smith is looking dapper, as is our next guest. You've seen him riding zip lines before, and you've seen him right here on Forward Progress. Andy, how are things?
It's cracking, Rob. Yeah. This is, I don't have the sound on for this, but he looks like he's having a fine time. Jerry's haircut looks like shit. Drew Pearson pushed off. Michael Irvin looks like hell. He's aging 5 years every week.
Yeah.
Troy doesn't know where he's at. He's just smiling. I remember this guy.
Troy, I didn't realize how I should have realized this. I don't know why I never did in life, but I never realized how tall Troy Aikman is actually, but he's a quarterback. Quarterbacks are generally tall.
That was my one, I guess I've seen other people, but that was my first Vegas celebrity when I first went out there. Played blackjack, not at the same table, but we were back to back. And I just kept looking at him motherfucker, this dude is huge. He's still just a massive human. He was a terrible blackjack player by the looks of it too. But do you remember when they announced I think it was just the Jimmy Johnson Hall of Fame thing? They did it at halftime and everybody was crying. That was a nice moment. I was thinking of that. The Ring of Honor, I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
I was thinking he was going to be in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jerry's getting pretty emotional here too. I mean, that's good. This is I'm getting a little bit of shivers just because I grew up a cat. These are the players.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's why I came in just hot with the hate because my Vikings had never been good. It was it's Wade Wilson. Oh, good. Right. Here's 5 years of Brad Johnson for you. I didn't have any glory years.
Yeah, my bedroom walls were just covered with posters of these guys. So it's pretty cool to see.
Which maybe again, you're welcome for the Herschel Walker shit. I guess that was a big part of the dynasty.
It sure was.
That was the Ricky Williams trade before the Ricky Williams trade.
I liked the weirdest Cowboys players though because I also used to play Joe Montana. NFL Football 94 on Sega Genesis. And there were just and I used to play Madden as well when I was growing up, but there was just
Well,
like trick
obviously.
plays. I wouldn't call it trick plays, but plays that worked way too regularly against other defenses, no matter how hard the difficulty was. And for me, one of them was like a slant to Alvin Harper for the Cowboys. So I would do full seasons, and like Alvin Harper would lead the league in receiving, but Michael Irvin would be nowhere to be found because like the good plays were to Alvin Harper and Jay Novacek and whatever. So those are like I had like really I never liked the main guys. I was not a huge Michael Irvin fan, Emmitt Smith fan, whatever. It was like, whatever video games I played, the plays that I could draw up to those guys were my favorite.
I really enjoyed playing as the Bears in the Tecmo Super Bowl, like the 90-91 version. And it was the same thing where I'd once in a while, I'd do like a whole season, I'd go look, I'm like, man, I have like 2,200 yards with Neil Anderson. And just like, there was a couple Neil Anderson plays that were pretty easy to run if you know what you're doing. And you could, honestly, those games are pretty easy once you played them enough, and you just had to give up on the play where, oh no, the defense knows what I'm running. This is just a 5-yard loss. I'll make up for it.
I don't know why I find this.
Who was the tight end during the run in the 90s? Why can't I think of his name?
Well, it was Jay Novacek first.
Novacek, and then
well, like Moose was like kind of like a fullback tight end hybrid type of player.
They all had the neck rolls. It was hard to tell them apart.
It's true. They all could have been linebackers too. They all could have been linebackers, a lot of those guys. But Alvin Harper had elite teeth. Not quite Yanni the Greek teeth, but
oh God. You could light up the strip.
You have no problem finding that guy in a dark room with the lights off, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. What was the side? I just saw some people posting the total for second half.
Barry Horse played under 27. I did not play anything. I actually wanted to play over, but then I saw the number and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I wondered about the over given the gobs and gobs of yards. And the like, if you have an over bet, just write this down and just remember this day. Like the universe will come back and get you, but man, there should be probably 25, 26 points according to how much yardage you have. I know the worst whatever rule in the NFL shit happens like that, but then the 4th and 4 from the 4th and goal from the 4, like you can't. And then I was mentioning this, we were talking about it in the Discord. On top of all that shit happening, you also have 2 punters who are just like nuking the ball. Like, and then every time someone doesn't move the ball, there's a 70-yard punt. You're not even getting to flip the field.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a weird half because it doesn't feel like it's been dominated by offense despite the yardage. That's just the feel I get. But a lot of like the punts, they've been really short drives, like 45 seconds, a minute. You had the big play on the fake punt, 31 yards down the sideline as well. Like Goff is not moving the ball through the air. He's 7 of 15 for 81 yards. Their running game, Gibbs and Montgomery averaging 3.4, 3.33 yards. So it's not like that's been happening. Dallas can't run the ball. Deuce Vaughn got that 1 carry for 3 yards. I know there's I'm rooting heavily against the ESPN guy that called that bet a lock. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. You can't call it. Nothing's a lock. You can't ever. Like,
I call him the ESPN guy. He's not. He does not work for ESPN. He just has in his bio that he's been featured on ESPN.
It's like our friend George. Like he's not going to have enough space in his bio anymore if people keep having him on places. You have him on. It's going in the bio. Like I should just have him on so I can.
I actually have to see his bio.
Get some pub in the George bio.
I'm an expert at NFL futures props, and I show bet slips. Heard on Be Better Betters. Who's Mile High Sports?
I don't know. Probably something based out of Denver, right?
Sure is. Dan Talks Football. That's not correct because that doesn't exist. That account doesn't exist. Hammer HQ, which is true, and DGen Weekly, which yes, I know this guy. We used to do some stuff with him when we started the Hammer as well. Mile High Sports, Denver Sports.
The old heads know, and the old heads who remember George from like back in the day, before he got any sort of like following, he used to claim that he was on VSiN and then one other show, and it's because he he finally would tell the story. He walked into the studio because they didn't have like the door locked, and he's like, well, they heard my voice in the air when they were kicking me out. So technically it was on, which is kind of like, that's my favorite George thing.
Pushing the limits of reality, but technically he's not wrong, Andy. Gotta give the man credit.
In on a technicality.
Transparency.
Look at that. Ring of Honor. Good job, Jimmy. Yeah, that was weird. I suppose at your age too, like circling back to that when they're just like, oh, now Barry Switzer gets one because anybody can come in and coach a super team basically. And we'll see how long this lasts. Obviously, it's been a while since.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long stretch of having good teams and just not quite enough at quarterback.
Yeah, it sure has. I'm going to be ahead of you here, I believe, unless you somehow found a better stream in the last couple weeks.
No, I'm when you mentioned the bow, I was like 3 seconds. Yeah, I was
not bad.
Way close to you.
My play clock is counting down here, 33, 32, and then Lisa Salters came on the screen just now.
Getting a little bit out of Pollard now. Better than kind of that first quarter where it looked like, oh no, they're not going to be able to do anything.
No,
I didn't catch any of the beginning. Did you have bets in this?
Yeah,
you got to run through.
CD Lamb under receiving yards. That was a good one.
Yeah. That should have been a safety. That guy missed such a clean tackle.
Jared Goff under passing yards. We got a lot of bets, Andy. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm rooting for a lot of times when I do these streams. But
I mean, did you anything on the side and total? Don't bore me with a million props, huh?
I did not give out the. I got a small bet on Detroit +6, but
yeah,
I would happily. Yeah, like let's put it this way: I would rather Dallas win and I not win my bet than Detroit win outright. So that's where I'm at right now in life.
Yeah.
What'd you take?
Well, I guess what did you make of the fact that it got a little bit of Detroit? Like there was Detroit's team, but then also the over. Because this morning was 52, and then I mean some places closed 53.5.
But it was also like the way the total moved this week was it opened and got bet up all the way to 50. Then it came all the way down and then like found a midpoint in between, basically.
Yeah. There was like 54. Did it go above 54 midweek? I felt like it was sitting right about there and then boom, back down to 52 on the weekend. And then
51.5 at one point as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it was all over the place, really. I made the total 52.8. I never bet it at any point this week, but that's where my final number was. And I honestly, I thought something was broken for a minute because I thought I was really going to like, based off of my numbers and how I've been playing these teams this year, I thought I was really going to like the over in this game. But I mean, I haven't been really proven wrong so far. I thought Detroit would run the ball a ton in this game. And that's where I was getting the under, and it's been pretty 50-50 for them. So every play to Pollard is just...
Yeah, I was in a weird spot where I looked at this all week, and it's a standalone game, and you got to do a little more looking at it because there's going to be talk about it and content, and I just kept going back and forth. Detroit's correlated with the under. Probably I was kind of in the same boat with you. If they run the ball a lot, play ball control, they can I thought maybe early in the week, I was like, maybe we get Gardner Johnson, maybe the other cornerback isn't like questionable coming into the game. We have some health in the shitty secondary, but no such luck there. They drafted a couple of nice kids over the last couple of years, but it's just not enough. This defense still stinks.
Pollard could have had a very, very big play here. Very big. And instead did not have a play.
He's trying. He's trying his hardest.
He's trying out there.
There's been a couple shitty drops today.
Man, painful. Got the exact look they needed. He ran the little Texas, had it wide open. Oh, my God, man. The old Texas route.
I didn't even look. I'm in the toilet bowl in fantasy. You get the first overall pick next year if you win. So, my 2-12 team suddenly is 4-12.
So
playing against Goff, it looks like.
I like that though. I like that you have to play a game.
It keeps people engaged if your team is shitty. I was doing waiver drops and shit.
Yeah. Very smart. And you can't just go pure tank mode because you have to win a game at the end of the year to get that number 1 pick.
Yeah, like it's actually good to be, I think, the 7th and 8th best teams because you get a bye in the toilet bowl. You can automatically bye to the semifinals. Didn't work out for the guy that faced this squad, but Texas route is undefeated in Madden.
You got to put your tight end on a streak down the field, and if they're playing man, you're gonna just destroy that middle linebacker. If you got a good linebacker or a good running back, Texas route solid. Good point, Patrick.
Dak doesn't get roughing calls for some reason. I don't know why refs don't like him. I don't know. Is that the general consensus with the Cowboy fans, the Cowboy fan base? Dak doesn't get the respect.
He got a shitty one on him last week, but I think it was a makeup. It was a makeup.
There was 2 in a row. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. They were back to back, and they're both.
They called the dumpster one on Micah Parsons before the end of the half. So, yeah.
Yeah, both of those are just trash. It might have been, like you said, a bit of a makeup.
Yeah. Tony, this won't even be close to the worst bet I ever made in my life. I love betting. I love betting big name players under. It's my MO. It's my go-to.
It was like 100. I mean, there's places that were up over 100, right?
It's 100. I got under 99.5 at like plus money, plus 110 or whatever. Yeah.
There's so many times they're just, and I mean, nobody. Well, I mean, there's probably some sick ass underbetters that cheer for injuries. Nobody cheers for an injury, but there's no opposite of an injury.
Agreed. There's nothing that's going to just help you all. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a very long tail to the under if a guy doesn't play for 3/4 of the game.
Well, there is the injection at the half as well.
Yeah.
I guess
you
that's
need
the opposite.
Slow first half with the injury right away in the 3rd quarter. That's the nuts.
Bingo.
What is the thought on Ben Johnson? Seeing Ben Johnson's name getting dragged through the mud here. It's a tough game. It can't be perfect every week.
Yeah,
I don't know who are we moving ahead of him in the power rankings for hires. Like,
I have no problem.
Is there a ton of guys out there? DQ gets some. He gets some interviews for sure.
Guy's got to work miracles with Jared Goff. Trust me.
Just a 90-yard touchdown kind of is the opposite of an injury. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yes. Good point. Yeah.
Especially on a safety. It's hard to throw a 90-yard touchdown when you were tackled for a safety, but apparently your entire body was covered in cooking oil. Just fucking slid right off him.
It was, we went through that in the first half. It was Derek Barnes that missed that tackle. Derek Barnes, former Purdue Boilermaker. I don't know why I brought that up.
Ben Johnson did. What are you chomping on? You got pistachios?
These are salted cashews.
Oh, second. That's the second in the nut power rankings behind pistachios.
Oh my God, Andy! I can't believe you're saying this right now because Christmas. Well, Jason, when did we do the nut power rankings? It was one of our previous streams.
I want to say it was Christmas Day, but when did you first bust out the cashews?
Might have been Christmas.
When
Day,
did you bust those nuts?
Yeah,
when did you? That was a low hanging fruit. I didn't pick up on that one. Wow. No, I think it was the Christmas Day stream, which was a lot of fun.
Pecans are very solid though.
No,
my dad brought a huge tub of he made his own roasted or honey roasted pecans and brought them, and they're very solid today. I had to host a Christmas today. I had to bake a damn ham, host a bunch of people, kick them out before the football game started.
Oh, you did a nice glazed ham.
Oh, just glaze the shit out of it.
Oh, I fucking love that, man. I love that.
Had to buy some real Canadian, because most people think they're putting maple syrup on their pancakes. Dude, it says pancake syrup. You're putting corn syrup with a little bit of like coloring and sugar in it. Like it's garbage. So I had to buy real Canadian maple syrup today or the other day when I went to the store to make a good glaze.
Have you ever tried rum ham?
No.
I love that episode, but we should try a rum ham one day.
I don't know if it works. Does it work? I feel like
it's gotta work.
I think it's like rum cake. So you're not getting fucked up on rum cake.
Well, when I was young, we used to buy like a box of gummy bears, and we would just pour like a bottle of vodka into the, and it would just absorb.
They'll soak up Everclear, vodka, or whatever. I've done that.
So you're saying the ham though doesn't soak up rum?
I don't think it has the same
salt,
properties.
the salt, just two different forms of matter.
Yeah.
I want to know in the chat.
We just lost the doctor.
Yeah.
Eric could have explained this.
Yeah, we'll get Dr. Johnny Sins on with us coming up at some point.
I'll give him a call. Give me a minute.
Give him a call, Jason. You got him on speed dial. In the chat, I need to actually know if anyone's tried rum ham before. I'll maybe be the guinea pig if I have to. And also, Andy, you can message me when you need Canadian product, man. I'll send it.
Before, like, Amazon used to be really good about getting shit, I did have somebody send me some all dressed chips because it's really hard to get that shit, and that's kind of the fucking goat chip.
Have you ever all dressed are great? Have you ever had ketchup chips?
Yeah, I like them, not as much as all dressed.
I'm with you. I like ketchup chips a lot more when I was younger, but now Costco in Canada is selling a spicy ketchup chip. Oh man, it's a banger.
Somebody says, "What team does Andy support?" We don't. I don't. I gave it up. I was a Vikings fan. Wonder why I gave it up. I just quit. On being a fan.
What's that cap there? What's the logo on the cap?
This is the Myrtle Beach Pelicans.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Did you buy that when we were in Myrtle?
No, when I went down later to with the family to go take on the golf course again, I felt because like I like buying a hat when I travel, but Jesus Christ, the Myrtle Beach hats were all just the worst kind of tourist trash. Just like Myrtle Beach and then SC or whatever.
Yeah. I don't want that. Same. No.
It is. Yeah, it is the Chicago Cubs single A team. Been a big minor league cap buyer. My wife got me the Green Jackets one for Christmas.
That's a sick cap. I don't want to steal. I don't want to steal like your shtick with the minor league caps, but I might have to.
It's such a good because there's like hundreds of them.
Dude,
they all have the stupid like trick nights where it's like, hey, we're not this anymore. We're a different team tonight.
I got like 30 caps up here from NHL, NFL. You can't see them on screen, but they're up there. Believe me. I'm like, I go to put one on. I'm like, I don't want to wear a fucking Buffalo Sabres cap today. Why did I buy this? I don't want to wear Winnipeg Jets. Like, I don't want this. But a minor league team, I'll support that no problem.
Yeah, I have a few that it's just like, why did I buy this hat?
Yeah. Oh man.
Drew brings up a good point. It is the Palmetto or something. I don't know.
I don't know how Drew would know that from Germany, but he seems to be very more knowledgeable than a lot of the Americans in the chat. Drew Furstenberger, I assume from Cologne, Germany.
Sounds like I don't know. Seems like you'd be from the south end of Germany.
Yeah.
Quebec's Nordiques, the Nordiques logo, very, very elite. There we go. I do have some Gibbs props. That's all I could come up with today. I understand that maybe running outside isn't going to be great against this team, but I still liked him. So I need Gibbs to get going a little here. Otherwise, I had my brain in a pretzel for this one. I couldn't find a side or total I liked.
Yeah. I mean, you say you need Gibbs to get going, and then they immediately just lose a bunch of yards on the next run.
That's the thing. He keeps his yardage chart is fucking up and down all over the place.
Dusseldorf is
the German region of Jacksonville. That sounds. Oh, Little Germany in Duval. Yes,
the German region of Jacksonville,
Stuttgart,
where they have 3 Germans. Oh man, this is not good right now. Not good, man.
What do you need? What are you cheering? I saw your list. What are you cheering for right now?
If they could end the game right now, I'd be very happy.
I'd be fine with that. I'm almost happy there's no Monday game. I just want to watch college football and do nothing on Monday.
Listen, I truly appreciate all the people who come and join me for these primetime games, Thursdays and Mondays. But having a Monday night off after this season will be so nice.
It's very.
It's so nice.
No, I looked at that. I'm like, why wouldn't there be? Oh yeah, there's football, college.
Well,
I do nothing. I'm gonna play Nintendo with my kids.
yeah. You gonna
Just
smash
do-
Michigan
just do-
like me? I'm loading up on Michigan.
Are you? I don't make numbers for college. I
Neither
don't
do I.
honestly pay attention. I don't understand like if Alabama's good or not because there was the weird Texas game. So I don't know. Yeah, give me something to bet. What do you like in the other one? I'll bet Michigan. I'm a Big Ten guy.
I don't like the other one.
My
I don't like
Gophers
the other
won.
one. Yeah.
All the good Big Ten teams have looked like shit, and then all the shit Big Ten teams have. I think Northwestern won their bowl, like Maryland won their bowl. The Gophers were like 5-7 and won their bowl game.
Why Michigan? I talked about this with Knish in the first quarter today. Here's why. I've watched maybe 20 college football games this year. And when I say watch them, I'm not even saying in full. Like maybe caught a half or so. Probably 4 or 5 of those have been Alabama. And I think Alabama actually sucks. I don't think they're good at all. At all. Like I actually think they're not good.
Fair enough.
That's my opinion. Lions, man.
The Linos.
What a drive.
What about did you have an opinion on the third one? The Montana, South Dakota State?
Well,
I mean, that's not till the 7th. That's not till the 7th, but
I will have an opinion once I see it show up in my accounts, Andy.
yes.
Then I'll have a big opinion because that game gets bet heavily into my accounts every year.
That was a fun lead up to that one because they had the Nova game where there was like 70-mile-an-hour winds and it was like 6 degrees and they were still 21-point favorites. Game never had a chance to get anywhere near that. And then I think people maybe I think there was some steam against them in the next game, and then they won like 59-0 because they are a truck.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't seen a line for that. If someone has the Montana SDSU lineup, I'd be interested. Yeah, Detroit's looking good.
Rob has no clue who it's JJ McCarthy, no? That's their quarterback. Is he injured or something? Do I not know anything? Like
Blake Corum. I know this guy. Like I know the running back.
Yeah. I've seen enough.
Jack
Michigan.
Harbaugh is like an
Watch
assistant
Michigan,
coach.
Ohio State. You know,
it's minus 12.5. Jeepers.
Ooh,
it's a big number down in Texas. Bring all those cold weather kids down to Texas.
Ooh, take an alt line maybe. Now we're talking. One way to get an account burned forever, no matter what, if you're on the sharp side or not, is bet an FCS alternate line.
Or just a bunch of FCS. It's fun too. It used to all be at one place when you'd bet a lot of this. I mean, it used to be at one particular book that doesn't exist anymore from Costa Rica. And I hear they're coming back. I hear they're coming back into Ontario. That's the word. The Canada might get 5 times back, but Jesus, we used to get to bet into the state high school finals in Texas. I used to just like DM people who follow college or high school football. Like, do you have an opinion on this Lake Travis line? And they'd have all this, like all these people just know all this stuff about these big high schools in Texas and shit. They follow this stuff religiously.
I'm trying to look
go Lake Travis
for live lines now. There's an ARB available right now, actually, because Pinnacle's 106 Lions and DK's plus 100 Cowboys. I have those both up on my screen at the exact moment. I would take that.
Hot
plus
Dog
100.
Better says that's pretty messed up that they killed that guy. I'd agree.
Yeah, well, that's not my experiences with him were not the greatest. I'll tell you that, but it's still very messed up.
Yeah, please don't murder anyone.
Yeah, murder is not good.
That's our New Year's resolution for everyone.
We have established that a minimum of 20% of the males in our chat have done hard time before. We did establish that in a previous stream.
You've never been in the clink?
I've never been in the clink. No.
Really?
Yeah. Jason, why are you looking all confused? You've never been in jail.
When did we establish this?
That might have been a Zach stream or a Jacob stream, I think.
I missed that one. Holy smokes.
Yes. I mean, I think a lot of people are lying in the poll results about
I hope so.
time. But wouldn't surprise me, honestly, with some of the comments I see here pretty regularly.
I've done time.
Yeah. Like drunk tank kind of time, or like we don't have to get into
just like in South Dakota, if you get a second underage within like a year, you get 48 hours. And I didn't know it was going to be show up to court and then you walk to the jail from there.
Oh my goodness.
Like, oh, like today, 48 hours? Like, go to jail right now? Like, I have work this afternoon. I'm going to have to call in. And then I called, and it was the one guy answered that you didn't want to answer because he was just going to tell everybody Andy's in jail. Sucked. It was boring. I don't think I'd like a longer stint, like a 5-10 year thing.
Yeah, long stints are no good.
There's Deuce Vaughn losing some yards right there.
Good job.
There we go. Lost.
Underage consumption. Yeah, I should make it clear. Underage consumption.
I knew you were talking about Andy.
Yeah, we call them underagers up here because it's like that's what everybody gets when you get caught drinking when you're under 21.
I knew what you meant, but I didn't want to clarify just in case it was the other thing.
Yeah, no, there was a guy. I remember there was a guy in there for that, and like 90% of the people in the South Dakota jail were in for meth.
Yeah,
and the one guy's like, "Oh, my girlfriend isn't quite 18, and her parents read her diary and found out that we'd." Like, oh, buddy, like you're in like trouble, huh?
That's not underage drinking, dude. You're in the wrong underage tank over here.
Yeah, like, you're going to a different. Yeah, this is just a transfer spot for you.
That is tough. How about Dallas never run the ball again? Would we be okay with that? I'd be okay with that.
Never run the ball challenge.
Could they get away with that? It's 3rd and 1 here. Oh, Pollard, big run. That's his biggest run of the year. It's like 20 yards.
18.
Wow, 18 yards.
TP.
What is Tony Pollard's long?
We put him in the ground. He's back.
I'm very interested to know. I'm trying to think through the games this year. He had a big one against Arizona a few weeks ago. Sorry, not a few weeks. It's earlier in the year. Over under 30. Longest run of the year. We'll have to make it a half. 29 and a half.
Yeah. That was a nice block, though. And he broke one. He broke a tackle. Give a lot of people credit on that. Is Dallas back? Let's assume they don't play each other because they just can't. One is locked into the 5 almost, and certainly the Lions can't fall. Let's assume they don't play each other in the first round. Like, what's your price on who's more likely to win their first playoff game this year?
Dallas or Detroit?
Yeah, because Detroit's probably getting one of the tougher wild cards. Probably getting like a Rams team, and Dallas isn't getting Dallas is getting a shitty NFC South team, but they got to go on the road to do it. God, it's still Dallas, isn't it? That's so stupid.
It's still Dallas, yeah.
Even if Tampa Bay continues to look really good for 2 more weeks, it's still Dallas.
Yeah,
this defense is rough.
Oh, is that Tyron Smith down or is it Tyler Smith? Couldn't tell the number. I think it's Tyler Smith.
That's Tyler. I always forget about the 4 seed is going to be like a 9-8 team.
Yeah. Well, last year I did convince myself Dallas was going to lose to Tampa Bay, and they absolutely crushed them in the first round.
Yeah, but they upgraded a quarterback in the offseason.
You know what? Maybe they did.
It might be.
Brady was cooked by the end. I hate to say it, but he was, all the running with Leonard Fournette on 1st and 2nd down definitely didn't help, but he had reached the end.
Oh, yeah, Patrick, the Brett Maher game. I was like I got one more in me when he goes out there and misses his 4th extra point.
Yeah.
Jesus. What is that? Some sort of tobacco pen, Rob?
Yes. Although it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
I looked up the YouTube rules. As long as it's legal in the jurisdiction in which you're broadcasting from, it's all good.
Oh, I would think. What are they going to do? Come find you? Even if it's not? Like, saw a guy doing drugs on YouTube.
No, they'd give us a strike on the YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
And, and demonetize the video. I don't want that stuff to happen. then
Better
the, then
not-
the,
you better
the
not invite me
9.99
back.
donation.
I might just shoot up on your show. Like, oh no, hey YouTube, they're doing heroin over at the Hammer.
It's a good way to put someone else out of business, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of a shitty long con though. If I get addicted to heroin,
It depends on which way you look at it.
expensive habit. It's just kind of what I've heard.
Mm.
Don't want to budget it.
Yeah.
I got 2 strikes already. Years ago, our channel got just shut down for like a month. And they never explained why. We had to start a backup channel and just broadcast. It was right when we started doing live stuff. No one ever explained why. No one ever could tell us. And we eventually just bugged them enough and they gave it back. And it was just baffling.
Well,
So YouTube can be kind of a fucker sometimes.
I'm shocked. So when we first launched the Hammer, we created all of our channels, and within a couple weeks, Hammer Hockey, which is our original Hammer Hockey channel, obviously, got shut down. We got a message from Google that said you're in violation of terms of service, and they don't tell you what you violated.
No, yeah, that's what you get. You just say you were naughty.
You're in violation. So we're going through it, and we're having like legal go through it, and no one can figure out what the hell happened. So we file a complaint with Google. You cannot get in touch with a human being. You're going to file a complaint, and we did, and we just didn't hear back, and we still didn't hear back. And then eventually we created another channel. There you go. Cheers. Bottoms up.
It's charged.
There you go. Oh, that's the worst. Got to cure that. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, I'm going to plug this one in.
But anyways, long story is this, or short stories. We created Edgework, separate hockey channel. Literally 2 months ago, we got approval from Google. They unrestricted our previous channel.
At that point, just like pound sand.
It was like, a year and a half, and
yes, like, and guess what? It had like 300 subs.
And less.
And I don't
want
want
it. It was like, yes, thanks very much. Holy fuck, what a disaster that was. Does Knish work in legal? He doesn't work, period.
Jesus.
I don't describe anything he does as work. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
It lowers T levels? I mean, I'm 40. Man.
I also have no desire to have children, and it's all good for me.
Knocked a couple out.
Yeah, I smoke as well, but I'm in my office, right? I don't smoke indoors.
Yeah, this is a rental, guys.
Yeah. You're in your office too right now.
Yeah. I popped down to the office. I had a lot of people at the house all day. Wife's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to the office. I don't want to be around anyone anymore. I'm going to go get a little work done. I'm going to watch the game on the other TV and go hang out with Rob for a bit."
This I'm like very, very concerned about the Cowboys offense right now. It's been a few weeks. There's like they can't get anything to anyone other than Lamb right now.
Lamb is very good.
He is very good.
Look at that. 1,600 yards.
You remember the wide receivers in that draft?
In the Lamb, wasn't Ruggs in that? Ruggs Judy.
Ruggs went first.
Ruggs went Judy. Like 12th, and it was like, whoa, what? I remember, because fucking Las Vegas or whoever they were back then just went full Leroy Jenkins. Like, oh, you picked the fast guy that was going to go 5th.
Well, it wasn't still Mayock, was it?
I think it might have been the end of it. Maybe off.
I don't know if this is a serious question, Patrick.
Whatever happened to Ruggs? No,
he's behind bars.
Yes, he is in prison.
But it was
20%.
It was Mayock. It was Mayock.
Sure. Makes sense. Ruggs, Judy, Lamb, and then
Jalen.
Right before Justin Jefferson was Jalen Reagor.
Jalen Reagor and Justin Jefferson, which
Brandon
was the famous video of the Vikings front office giggling.
Oh yeah,
the Vikings have been really good at drafting wide receivers, just not.
Dude, T. Higgins at the start of the second round, Michael Pittman. This was a stacked draft for receivers.
Imagine how much better the KC offense would be right now if they didn't draft Clyde and they drafted one of Higgins or Pittman. It's crazy to think about. It's crazy.
Yep. They took Clyde Edwards-Helaire 32nd, and they had Higgins and Pittman right after him.
Yeah. It's not fair to say they had Tyreek Hill, obviously, but they didn't really have a secondary option other than Travis Kelce. It's like
that. And I remember looking at that pick too. Like you're saying, they didn't have needs really.
Mm-hmm.
Like there wasn't like a glaring need anywhere where it was just kind of a luxury pick They could have gone anywhere and it'd have been fine. Nobody was going to question them.
There was a glaring need for my bankroll for CEH to be picked as the first running back that night or in that draft. I don't know if you were also on that, Andy, but there was, I think it was like 15-1. Clyde
Was
Edwards-Helaire.
he the only running back? Swift was later.
Swift was a couple picks later, but it was first running back to be drafted, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire was like 14-1, 15-1.
Sure.
Oof. What a banger draft. Robert Hunt, good pick there by the Dolphins in the
RIP. He's not
no, he's not suiting up this week.
Yeah, he's out this week again.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't figure out how the Dolphins continue to be like decent after every injury. They've had some pretty bad injury luck for like 4 weeks now.
Good coaching, man.
And just like Van Ginkel steps in, plays with a broken nose. You don't see a huge drop off in the pass rush somehow.
Yep.
Did you have a hot take on that game? That's one I probably am avoiding at the current number, but I'm like jacked to watch it.
Yeah, so I do have a take on the game. I would never bet Baltimore at the price. It's really the injuries that are keeping me off of Miami, because they obviously mean something, but I know I'm going to regret this one. I don't have the stones to pull the trigger with the Miami injuries.
At 3, I mean, the steam made sense. It's kind of a bad spot for Baltimore. It's a big number. 3 is probably fine. I looked at the under for a little bit this morning. It was kind of. I wish it were a little higher, I guess.
Are they going to take this off the board for you here?
Probably.
Yeah. It was a big Gibbs run.
Always.
Yeah.
I had. I can't remember who it was. I had that had like a 60-yard run in the fourth quarter. They took off the board to like cash all kinds of things.
Right. Good question. So if the Ravens lost the Niners game, would everyone be betting them? Well, the line would probably not be 3.5 or 3.25 or whatever it is right now. It'd probably be south of that. So it's not like, I don't like the ifs, ands, and buts. We don't know, but I would be very surprised if the Ravens lost, they were priced like this. So it's really the price that changes everything.
Yeah, staying away. There's still a lot to be decided. Although there's a scenario where at the end of Sunday, everything can be clinched for the NFC. Right. Maybe not I don't think everything position-wise, but the 7 teams can be decided. I spent a bunch of time looking at that this morning. Hurt my brain after a while. I only have so much bandwidth on a weekend.
I get it. You got to, just got to do you, man. Whatever you can do, whatever you can get done.
I like peeking ahead and seeing like which teams are going to be just, hey, you're a playoff team, but you're stuck, and Dallas doesn't really have that spot, even though they'd be stuck in the 5. They can still, not even just tiebreakers. There's ways for them to figure out to win the division yet. Obviously, a lot of shit has to happen, but
I'm going to talk about this a lot when I do Pizza Buffet tomorrow morning, but the last couple of weeks of the year, I find to be very interesting in the sense that like people just, it's like choose your own narrative, right? And if you were to just blindly bet that, and I'm not suggesting that people do this, but if you were to just blindly bet the teams that have quote unquote nothing to play for, right? Officially eliminated from the playoff race versus teams that are playing for something in the final week of the season, final 2 weeks, 3 weeks, actually argument can be made too. You'd have a lot of success over the years. And, it's just like finding it within you to actually pull the trigger on a team that has nothing to play for is tough. But some of the lines that we see in these final weeks, they don't really make a lot of logical sense unless you're convincing yourself that this other team is literally not even going to show up and play.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this was something I did last year. I probably bet them in certain spots, but these teams that are out of it but have a coach like a Dan Campbell who aren't going to be, they're not lame ducking it at all. Obviously, he wasn't lame duck, but they're not dogging it at the end of the year. Like there's teams like, hey, you're eliminated. Doesn't matter. You're getting our best game today. Yeah. And also I'm randomly aggressive at times too. So sorry about that.
It is what it is. Well, Andy, appreciate you joining me here.
Yeah. Have a nice night, Rob.
You too,
You guys, good luck with everything. Go Cowboys by a field goal. Is
Yeah.
that okay? Is that what you want?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it would be. That would be the ideal outcome for me. Cowboys by a field goal.
Cowboys by 3. Let's go, boy. How about them
But
boys?
you need some more Gibbs yards so you can get those two. If you,
I'll take what I can get.
That's it, man. It's
All right,
motto.
see you guys.
It's Andy's motto that he lives by. I'll take what I can get. Said it many times. I'm sweating this end of this game. Big time. Big time sweats. All right. Fourth quarter has started. It's a bunch of questions. I'll get to a bunch of them with my pal from Circles Off, Johnny.
What's going on? Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good. Needs the over.
I need the over here. I'm going to need some points. I don't care who.
The
I also
pregame
got-
over?
It's not a pregame over. The one that I'm going to care about right now, let me see, just ticked above water. Over 37.
Over 37. Okay.
Over 37, just ticked above water, and I think you'll see why in a second.
Oh,
here.
yeah. J-Mo. Oh.
I think I'm ahead of you. So my screen's at 14:06.
Yeah, you're good. You're 2
14:04.
seconds
Where are you
ahead
at?
of me.
Okay,
2 seconds,
perfect.
Yeah.
So we're watching together. Also got just found this in the office today, actually, randomly.
Where?
But
Who's a Cowboys fan from The Office?
one of Caputo, one of the new guys, he brought this for I think a Secret Santa, and then now it's just an office mug. So fitting time. I got the Cowboys mug. I'm not on the Cowboys. I'm not on the Lions. But again, points. I don't care who. What are you on right now?
We bet the Lions, but I have a lot of props, none of which are gonna win. I don't think. I have Jamison Williams under 2.5 catches at plus 110, so that one I did not want to see down the field there.
I've been in advance of me knowing I was going to come on this stream. I've been trying to pick up the Lions live for about, let's say, 22 minutes, and just couldn't get it. Just couldn't get a bet in at a good number, and I'm regretting it now. Obviously, no good.
Whatever, man. At this point, this has been my life. What's going to happen is going to happen. We don't control it. You know, it would have been good for content, though. That you should have just said that you were doing it. At least you're authentic. You know that? A lot of people would have come
I couldn't place a bad bet. That's the thing. Just for the stream, like I wasn't going to place a bad bet. I was looking like, okay, if I can stretch something where I'm like, yeah, I kind of like the Lions here, fine, but couldn't bring myself to place a bad bet. But I am on the over. Need some points, buddy. Lions have been absolutely not doing well in the red zone here. Should certainly not be running. I also think Sammy Ports is going to punch in a touchdown here. If I were to bet right now, live, be Sam Ports next touchdown. But you can't really get those. You can't really get that now with them in the red zone. Like everything will be off the board.
I love the nicknames because like when I do the stream, I try to be like somewhat professional. So I forget how I would be nicknaming people if I was just watching the games with my friends. Sammy Ports.
You don't think that's a nickname everybody uses?
No, that's great. I love that. Sammy Ports is a great one. I mean, I outside of like our friend group, I'm not sure how widely used it is, but
I know at least 7 other people that call him Sam Ports or Sammy Ports. He's gonna punch us in right here on third down. This is gonna be probably him at the back of the end zone, if I were to guess, running right, and he will catch. Yeah, he will catch this for a touchdown.
I like
no dog in the
shots.
fight. No dog.
Yeah, I like when people call their shots. I do.
Problem with this stream, honestly, is that the guys are too far behind. So when I was watching the stream, I've been complaining about this for a couple seasons now, but it just doesn't sync up. Here it is, and yeah, no good. Incomplete.
You had the right play call.
I'll tell you what I didn't need there, and that, sir, is a field goal attempt.
I know it's tough. It ruins a lot of the tie possibilities that would get you the over as well.
I was listening to you talk about Michigan there for I guess 2 days from now, not tomorrow. But what's the reasoning? You just want Michigan, so you think Alabama sucks?
Yeah, it's this is like I'm just gonna live like the square that I am when it comes to college football and bet my opinion. I'll get a good price, but I'm gonna just bet my opinion on the game. And my opinion is that Bama sucks. They're lining up to go for it here.
They're absolutely not going to go for it.
No, I just took the delay. I'm actually.
Oh, did they take this delay or did they burn the timeout? Oh, they took the delay. Okay.
Yeah, they're actually not. They're pretty good at not taking the really dumb timeouts. The timeout's worth way more than the 5 yards there. So way more.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for Michigan and Bama, I know, like, listen, Bama, they do kind of suck. I hear you. I feel you. I've watched a lot of games. I watch every college game every Saturday. Bama sucks. However, there's going to be an extremely hot take. Michigan also kind of sucks. Okay. Georgia should definitely have been in the tourney, obviously, and they would have been massive favorites over both these teams. They just lost, obviously, to Bama, but if you watch that game, man, like they just couldn't do it, and they played a pretty bad game. If you saw them today, I don't know if you watched the game today, but what an absolute masterclass. The first drive was like a turnover on downs. They went for it on like a 4th and 2, 4th and 3 in FSU territory. After that, they then proceed to score 9 straight drives in a row with a touchdown. Wow. A couple turnovers mixed in. It was a absolute shellacking.
Yeah. I saw the victory laps on Twitter about the FSU not being in the, Final Four. Made a great decision, but like people realize they were playing with like no players.
Who was?
FSU today.
Well, also Bama, Georgia, basically the first drive. So they smashed them in the first half. Then second half, they put in their backup QB. He's like a 4-star recruit. He's not horrible, but their backup QB started the second with the starters for the first drive. The main guys are still in. Ladd McConkey was still in. Then after they got the first opening drive touchdown in the second half, they pulled all the starters. So it was the backup QB was in and all the backups as well. And they still proceeded to
killed them.
Absolutely smashed them. So that's Georgia's backups would have beat this FSU team that they put out. And FSU team's not even that much better. Like Travis is good, but even with him, they're not really that good. So I think it was a good choice. Problem with college is it's like, what do you want to do for that game? Like if you wanted to put the main teams in, then you're going to have to put in like Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Bama. And those teams weren't necessarily the 4 most deserving, but like, that's just what you have to put in. If you wanted to put in the teams that are most deserving, then yeah, you want to go FSU, Washington in there, and then, Michigan. And I guess then you'd go Bama, but it's not really like, what do you want? Just pick the teams with the best spreads then. And then you're going to see like Georgia would be favored over every team. Why are they not in there?
Yeah. Well, I think like just picking an arbitrary number of teams bothers me because I think
next year.
Yeah, I know, but like it's always going to be an arbitrary number, right? And I honestly think at the end of the year, you should have a committee get together and say like, there's 6 teams that are worthy of playing for the playoffs. So we're going to do a 16 playoff, or there's 2 teams that are so far above everybody else that we're just going to play a championship game. Like to me, it should depend on that individual season. I know it's tough because of scheduling and it's a logistical nightmare, but when you pigeonhole yourself into a certain amount and you say, we're going to do X amount, there's always going to be someone that feels left out because they don't fit that criteria. Right.
Buddy, if they do that, then it's going to be even more outrage from people. If they don't even have this number of teams consistent, it would be, I'd say, way more of an outrage. It's already an outrage right now, but it is what it is.
If we did 6, let's say we did 6 teams this season, right? FSU gets in, Georgia gets in. Is there anyone complaining that it was like, Ohio State should have got in? They should have been not really. I think pretty much everyone would have been fine with those 6 teams in some capacity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you still play the games and all of those teams can technically win. So I do like the idea of having more teams and just having it in. Like Bama just beat Georgia. If you're going to just assign the winner or just assign 2 teams based on the spread, then why even play the regular season? So I get that, but I don't really know what the committee's doing. Like if you wanted to go by best teams, then Georgia should be in. And then
Right.
if you want to go by record, then FSU should be in. But somehow both those teams are out. It doesn't make sense. Like Georgia should be just, if you're not going to go by record, then like why is Georgia not in over? Like, okay, they lost one time, but they were dominant every other game. They also should have really won that game. They'd be.
And it's
favored in
also
every
just
game,
because the
but
game was at the end of the year. If the game was at the beginning of the year instead of at the end, it's not even a conversation. Like the sheer stupidity of it all is what I mean. Yeah,
also Bama got a lot better as the season went on. They're not.
Yes, but the
Bama's
last game I watched was Auburn.
Yeah, but I'm saying Bama's actually they're pretty good.
Well,
I don't know who I like in that
I'm gonna
game.
put my money where my mouth is, Johnny.
You're betting Michigan right now?
Oh, I'm gonna bet Michigan.
What are you taking? -1.5?
I'm going to bet Michigan at the best available price 1 minute before post.
You're gonna be the best Michigan price 1 minute before post?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, fair enough. You're not gonna even lose that much that way. I always
agree.
wanted to talk about that because a lot of people want like action on these games, and like the props are a great way to do that. But if you want action on the game, like if you have access to every book, like dude, like I'm looking for tomorrow, like you could basically get all these NFL games like within 3-4 cents, like no questions asked. So taking that at post, like you're not really losing that much money. So if you want fun, yeah, I'd do it too. Straight
Jameson
Michigan
Williams.
-2.5.
JMO to the locker room.
Yeah, he's out. What's my path to this over here, buddy?
Well, Cook, in real time, I didn't know if Cooks got his second foot down or not. By the way, I did ask everyone.
He's not even in.
Right?
Is
the
he?
second
one. Oh yeah, he's in. They're gonna give it to him. Ruling on the field stands there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Buddy, what's Dak doing here?
I did ask for subs tonight. We officially, with you on the stream, Johnny, hit 4K subs on Forward Progress.
Oh, let's go.
All that really matters to me is that we end with higher than hit the books by the end of the year.
On this channel? Yeah, we can do that.
On this, it's very close. But remember when Knish victory lapped, how hit the books surpassed Circles Off like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Circles Off is now dusting hit the books.
Yeah, but we're gonna continue to dust them for sure.
Exactly. Well, he is a duster, Knish.
How do I read the comments in real time? I gotta just go on YouTube on my phone.
No, there should be a way for you to see them. No,
there should be a little thing on the side where it says comments on the right side.
Oh my! I'm in the private chat.
Oh no! Oh no! Shout out to all the nails for subbing. We appreciate you. 4,000 subscribers. It's been a great year. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. Jameel, don't worry. I won't forget the people that were the OGs here. I won't forget the people that will be the OGs. All right. Let's get into the red zone, please. We need points. Johnny needs the over.
Points. I don't care who.
That was a good run by Tony.
All right.
Wow.
I think my path here is Dallas. No, it's actually gonna be a tough path. It's gonna be a tough path to 38.
Yeah, you need 2020. To 38. Yeah, you need. And if you had the pregame full game over, no, your 2020 doesn't even do it for you. It's a tough one. Them's the
At this
breaks.
point, I'm probably hoping just touchdown, give me a push on the 37 at this point.
See this guy that made the tackle there out of Woodbridge, Ontario?
Who?
Alex Anzalone?
No, he's not. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, bro.
Does sound like a guy that I would have went to school with for sure.
Oh, for sure. Hey, what did you have on? Do you have any NHL bets today?
Yeah, a bunch. I don't really want to check, but I can check if you really need me to.
Guess what I had today, buddy? An all-time lucky win. If you guys watched the game, which you probably didn't because it was during the first quarter. A Raptors plus 2.5.
Oh,
Buddy, what an insane, incredibly lucky win. Oh, let's go. Brandon Cooks.
He cooks. You know who was You know, who's
Go
on
for
with me in
two
the
here,
first quarter.
Dallas. Have some stones, Dallas.
Go for it.
Go for two. Yeah, Joey Knish. I was listening.
Detroit, Toronto. He had to let me know at the end that Detroit won the game. But I don't follow basketball enough anymore. Like the Raptors made the trade today. I'm messaging like Kirk Evans. I'm like, dude, what's going on? Is this a good deal? I know nothing about hoops anymore. So like, it doesn't even really bother me.
Is now the time for a Lions liver? That is the question we should all be asking ourselves. That is the question asked right now. And I'm on my computer, so anything's in play right now.
If for a Lions liver,
And for a Lions live bet, is now would be the time.
are you getting more than 2-1?
Well, my hat is a Pinnacle hat, so I don't want to quote any other prices. Pinnacle
No,
right now
is
plus
Pinnacle
201.
plus 201. That's roughly what I thought it would be.
Pinnacle's
Pinnacle's
you can go around. You can go around. It's a plus 230 right here.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I talk about this on every stream, right? In the live market, especially towards the end of the game, if you want to bet the favorite, Pinnacle's going to be the spot. Like very often, you're going to get the best line on the favorite. We've done it a million times on the stream this year where we bet like minus 500, minus 600 late in the game, which is actually like an arbable price. But
Absolutely. You guys had Dallas at, or you were trying to get Dallas at plus 100, I saw.
Yeah.
Line, you know what? It's probably not the spot right now. It's probably not the spot for a Lions live bet.
I mean, the total's 37. The problem is that hook for you, that 38.
At this point, if it lands 37, I'll take that.
They'll take
that.
37.
It's most likely to land 37.
If you had 37.5, you would have lost by the hook on a 37.
I'm going to try to hit under 37.5 over 36.5 right here.
Oh,
That could be the move, and that is the move right now.
but then you have to
Are
root for
people
Detroit.
allowed to bet while on stream? Is that frowned upon?
No, it's encouraged, man. It's encouraged.
All right. We're now not as miserable on the 37.
What do you think I'm doing behind the scenes here? You think I'm actually like trying to like work around and like
Well,
make sure everything's
we
good?
do-
No, I'm live betting everything across.
We
the
do
board.
call him the porn guy for a reason. It's not all
Every
live
once in-
betting behind the scenes.
Just once in a while. Is that what you're doing, JC? Live bet behind the cam?
No, maybe no. I make sure everything's good on stream, obviously. But
Let's just say
I'll play
when he's not
Okay,
on the stream,
I got to
Johnny,
see what Sam Laporta to get a touchdown on this drive is. Live TD scores.
you might have to
Ninth
look under
drive.
Sammy Ports.
I mean, at that price, you might as well just bet his anytime touchdown, 10-1. It's definitely an absolute terrible bet. Nobody bet that. Okay, Sam Ports to get a touchdown on this drive, 16-1. No, that's just terrible.
That's not.
That's just not.
That's like including all the outcomes of a drive, which include punt or field goal or whatever. It's not just TD score. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. No good there. I'm searching around. I want to force some bets in here, but really just not seeing it right now.
I want to force.
I should have woke up earlier, capped a little bit harder. But
did you get my message earlier today? By the way, Johnny, I told you for the last quarter sweat, we got to go Hunter Lupke, last TD.
I don't think he's had a snap yet today.
oh, that's what you were saying. I didn't even understand.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this gibberish this guy's saying? Yeah, no, he hasn't had a snap. It's still good. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna hit, but I don't know. Just
Hunter
giving us the
Luke's-
last.
You got 70-1 on that though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great price. Great price.
Yeah.
All we need here is no. Okay, we're gonna need a touchdown here, and then we sweat the over.
You want a quick
That's-
tutter, man.
that's my sweat. Yeah, quick tutter, and then we sweat, and then we come back on the Lions. Sorry, we come back on Dallas live.
Who the fuck
Fill
just
this
caught
cup
that
back
ball?
up.
That was James Mitchell. That's the backup tight end to Laporta. Laporta's on the field, though. I'm interested if they're going to run some two tight. If they get down to the red zone, you think we bang a James Mitchell tutter? Two
No
tight
way.
end set.
Is Khalil Dorsey the guy who got the fake? Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, it was.
Cornerback.
It was.
Guys, their third leading receiver right now.
Mm.
Wow, Gibbs not having a good game.
No.
15 for 43, one catch for nothing. Why are you on Montgomery overs, dude, in the receiving game?
I've played him the Montgomery overs the receiving game like the last few weeks.
No good.
No,
No
they've
good
won
today.
I'm pretty sure
No
they've
good
won.
today. No, I gave it on Thanksgiving as an under.
I remember
Easy, no
that.
sweater. Easy, no sweater. I have that again today as well. Been on some running back receiving unders.
If Jordan
Late in
Lewis
the
didn't
season.
make that amazing interception, like if he didn't jump that route, that over won.
Okay, and looks like we are punting.
Yes.
And by we, I mean Detroit. It's probably the time for Detroit Lions live bet right now.
I don't think they're going to get the ball back. This is the McCarthy special now. Play to
What
not
price?
give them the
What
ball
price you need right now?
on Detroit.
Yeah.
How much time is left? 6 minutes. So the last time we were at 7.5 minutes. I would probably
they're
need.
getting the ball back. 3 timeouts, they'll get the ball back. Dak is not that good. It's like plus 420 you can get here.
Oh, that's good. I was gonna say I'd need like 350. I can't bet a
350,
guy.
that's it?
That's what I was thinking. 5 minutes.
320.
Well, no. In hindsight,
I think 420 is good here.
Yeah.
for everybody. If you got any of the major books, which would be, am I allowed to say the books on the show?
that's what. Yeah, it's fine.
Listen,
we
FanDuel and
know-
DraftKings have plus 420. I think if you have those right now, like I don't see why you wouldn't be firing on that. Personally, personally, it's not financial advice by any means.
I'd say Dallas wins this game 17 out of 20 times.
Really, I gotta throw this Dallas Cowboys mic in the trash. Sorry, this Dallas Cowboys mug. Okay, we are in. I'm gonna need Lions. And
You won't need the Dallas Cowboys mug when you got the Pinnacle water bottle.
You know what? I have that. It's right over there. I have that same thing.
No one gets to see what's actually in here when I do the stream. That's a plus. I tell people it's water. They can assume it's water, but no one knows. It's the beauty of having a colored water bottle.
Secretly, it's what's it called, Bailey's on ice. Just straight Bailey's and ice.
I'm not a serial killer, man. Bailey's on ice.
Anybody in the chat riding the Lions with me or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think the chat was mostly Lions. The gentleman, this was last time out, but he took like plus 3.5. I don't remember what the hell was going on.
Is anybody riding that plus 420 with me? Hey, by the way,
I will say it did almost instantly move right when you said it, like on stream. So I assume. I don't know.
You can still grab 420 on FanDuel right now.
I don't know if someone from these sports books are maybe watching our content. If they are, hello. But yeah.
What are you trying to get a new job or something?
No. Just no. Wait,
Say hello. Yeah, I'm available for work.
Listen, if they want to hire a guy known as the porn guy in these streams, like I respect them a lot.
What's with the caption today? Big fan of Mexican street corn. Is that like a sexual innuendo?
No, I tried it for the first time not this weekend. Oh yeah, this weekend. And it was great. I loved it.
You've never had Mexican street corn in your life before?
Not like the stuff with the cojita cheese and the
it's amazing, man.
Spices and all that stuff. It's great. Yeah. I feel like there is an innuendo in there if you look hard enough, though.
Yeah. You ever watch Nacho Libre?
Yes. A long time ago, though. Great movie. Underrated. Forgot one of those movies you forget about, but like I actually love that movie.
Every time I watch that, it makes me want to have some Mexican street corn.
I feel like Mexican street corn is people say in the MMA community, the Mexican tacos. You know what those are? There's a big joke where Canelo Alvarez, he got popped for steroids,
Yeah.
And then he said that he was in Mexico and he had some bad tacos, and that was the tainted supplement. And that was kind of, this is no good. That is no good. That's going to be a dusty defensive hold.
So
Yeah,
funny because I'm so far behind you guys.
Well, there was no one. The ball went up and there was no one there, so it's very obviously some sort of holding or illegal contact.
Legal contact.
Oh man!
If they don't call that there, we are sitting decently pretty on that 420.
Well, we got some people in the chat that took 420s.
Yeah,
He's
no,
also 420ing.
I still don't mind it. I'm not listen. I heard you guys talking drugs with Andy there. Just want to let everyone know, being responsible here. Listen, drugs are terrible. There's no reason to do drugs or do any of that shit. Don't do it. That's on me. I'm gonna just let that be known to everyone. Listen, this is not financial advice, but don't do drugs.
Illegal.
All right, nice first down stop. Listen, my fear here is actually that Dallas is going to punt this ball. Detroit's going to score too quick, and then we're going to have to sweat out a Dallas drive here.
Too quick.
Detroit's going to score too quick. That's my prediction.
Detroit's not going to get the ball back.
Detroit is going to get the ball back here with about 3. They're going to get the ball back here. It's going to be 3 and change, and they're going to score too quick.
This is a big play here. This will be a pass, but it'll be like a lame pass, something short.
That's good defense. That's all I can say about that. Some good defense.
Oh, yeah, that was good defense. And the clock stops. Our guy Anzalone on the coverage.
I'm going to put it out there. Please. Someone's like, love Johnny, but that's a really bad take on drugs. I'm gonna put this out there. If Detroit scores on a Hail Mary to win this and doesn't have to kick the extra point, and I don't push the 37, you'll find me on the sun in orbit. Do not score with 0 time left. Oh, and I think that kills it.
CD, dude, I played under on CD Lamb today, by the way, just so you're aware. He has 216 yards. He lost on the one play.
Yeah. He lost on the one play. Dude, how nuts was that play?
I know. That was amazing.
You guys weren't even going that nuts for a bit. I was like, too far ahead of you.
I had Knish on. I don't like to rub it in people's face unless I really dislike them. But I consider him a friend. I don't like to. If it was someone I hated, that's a different story.
It's not even about that. I just mean, you guys weren't even going nuts. That play was insane. He avoided the safety. It was a safety. What the hell? What was that guy doing?
I was just reveling in my own glory because the chat at that exact moment in time was just roasting Dak Prescott precisely as he made the play. Oh, man.
I got a bone to pick with the college officiating, by the way. This actually helped the bet, but
all around or just one game?
It's all around. There's just so many little things. People complain about NFL, then they watch college as well, but we don't really get to watch every college game like we do NFL. So we don't realize how bad these calls are. But if you saw how bad the call was yesterday, Mizzou sacked Ohio's QB, took him out, the play that took him out of the game. It was an absolute clear fumble. He fell down. His shoulder was injured or something. He didn't pick it up at all. A Mizzou guy picked it up. This was at the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
And then the ref was just like, the ruling in the field is a fumble recovered by Ohio. And then they just left it, and he just snapped it, and they punted the ball, and that was it. And nobody even talked about it. It was insane. They didn't review it. The coaches were mad. No one cared. It was should have been a 1st and goal from the 10. Instead, they punted it, and then they didn't even end up scoring on the drive. It was absolutely insane.
Big play.
That is, boys, we are live.
That is huge.
I'll tell you this right now, boys.
That's
we're
huge.
above water. We're well above water.
I was going to say to you this. if Dallas ended up kicking a field goal from that 42, which they would have because their
Would
kicker
Detroit-
can kick
would
like a
Detroit
million
go
miles.
for 2 for the win?
Yeah,
after
they would.
I think they would. Yeah,
They would.
Detroit would in this situation.
Yeah, because they've clinched the division. They have a very aggressive coach. The likelihood they're going to score inside like the last minute or even 30 seconds is high. Oh, that looked bad for Dak's right leg. I got to root for no pick six though.
No, we could, if I don't get the Detroit, I could use that pick 6.
True.
I could use a pick 6, and then hopefully Dallas has some stones and goes for 2.
17, 13, 20 that has some stones.
Scotty, Lions plus 600. Let's go, buddy.
Scotty's
that's a mid drive.
Scott's an Eagles fan, so this is definitely a Cowboys hate crime right here. Definitely a Cowboys hate crime.
Guys, let's our boat and get the game off the TV. Go
All right,
to sleep.
I love this. Call. All right, boys. Sammy Port's time. Sammy Ports.
Oh, this is big. The field position here is big. Okay, there you go. Perfect.
Wow. I'm surprised you didn't make contact with Khalif Raymond there. That looked close.
I think he did, but that's okay. I was going to mention an insane edge for NFL teams, and not that they're not trying to do it, but they don't realize the success of like if you can actually pin someone like inside the 3 versus at the 10, it's night and day for the game because they burn the first play automatically on a run, like usually. And then if that run gains a yard, which a yard or 2, which it usually does, then they're always like panicking, like I can't take a holding penalty. Everyone's on edge. It messes up the play. Like pinning someone at like the 7 versus the 3 is night and day. Is that him? There he is.
Sammy Ports.
Sammy Ports.
Sammy Ports time. Yeah.
How do you watch these with no volume, buddy? I need the volume.
No, I hear it. I can hear it. We have because I've done so many of these, I know exactly the volume I can get away with.
Did he get that?
Wow.
Johnny, if you want to turn your volume up, we can tell you when we hear it.
No, it's okay. Now at this point, I don't even care.
Fair enough. There's like 2 minutes left, but
you know what though? That if you were gonna throw a pick, it's that play and not the play later. Because now you have the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts. There's a shot here.
There's a shot. This is.
Does he catch it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he caught it. It was a great pick. He jumped the route. Donovan Wilson. These guys will jump routes. It's just a shame because it was Sammy Ports that was the target there too.
Oh, dude, Sam Port's coming in hot after that catch. He try to punch it out. Good move, veteran move for that rookie.
So you need you need Detroit to get a stop here.
Why?
I need the opposite. I need the game to run out.
Oh, that's a hold. That is a massive, massive mistake.
That's coming back, but it's going to go to 2-minute warning now.
But
first down.
They honestly jobbed them on the clock there. Guys, I'm telling you, rewind your TV right now. They jobbed them. There was a second left.
It's the home clock operator.
No, that's an absolute jobbing. There should be 2 seconds, and you usually run off 1. There should be a second off the clock here, and then they get a free timeout.
He is down at 2:01. I stopped it on screen right now.
That's an absolute job.
The old Italian job.
He's down at 2:02. They usually run off an extra second, but no good there. All right, guys. It's looking bleak. Not one for chasing, but Lions 1700 looks great. It's true.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't want a field goal here. That would be very bad. Bad news. No, whatever. It's not.
They're gonna run. So it's now, I believe it's what is it, 1st and 25?
Yeah, it'll be 1st and 25 because it's a tripping penalty. Peyton Hendershot, third string tight end, gets a tripping penalty. Classic Cowboys move right there. The thing is, like, they're in field goal range right now. Because they won't even hesitate to kick a 61-yarder with their kicker, Aubrey.
Brandon Aubrey. What's that his name?
Toronto FC legend, man.
What was he actually on Toronto FC? They always say this, but like I don't think
he was drafted by Toronto FC. So he played collegiate soccer in the US
I think
Toronto
he was just
FC.
on the TFC Academy or something.
Yeah, but because he, like, usually when a lot of the draft picks will play for the academy before the players are not good enough to come into the league right away. Yeah. 2017 Super Draft, 21st overall. First round pick. Hey, they knew him. They knew he had a big leg.
Was he a first rounder?
Yeah.
You know what? If he was a first rounder, there's something to that.
There's something there, man. There's something there.
These guys, I've always been shocked that there's not more kickers. I mean, it's talked about a lot, but like, why are there not more actual just like good kickers that come from soccer? It's got to be guys that can kick from like consistently from 50 plus or even 70, anything like that, you know?
Yes. But now once it's a copycat league, right? So as soon as they see now that there's a kicker that played collegiate soccer that's drilling kicks from 70 yards, teams are just going to start looking.
Probably won't draft Jake Moody in the third, is what you're saying after that.
Yeah, exactly.
I had Wyoming today. What a comeback. Just before this game started. I was trying to find the game. The game wasn't on TV. So I'm checking Twitter.
Toledo. That was the
So I'm checking Twitter. Oh my goodness, they threw it.
I'm actually very surprised and that it worked.
That almost put us back in it. They threw that. If that's incomplete there, we get a timeout for the drive. Wow. Siderian.
So Detroit used
on
Siderian.
What's your
thought on cashews? You big fan?
Cashews, love them.
Oh, banger.
I'll tell you what, I like cashews only by themselves though. If they're in a mixed nut bag, I feel like they overpower.
Most of the mixed nuts are not mixed nuts ones. Those Brazilian nuts, get that shit out of my face, man.
Yeah, they got the Costco pack, which is incredible. But the cashews overpower, and yeah, that Brazil nut's got to get out of there.
Yeah, no Brazil nut, no good.
But I would say, what is it, 2nd and 14, dude? Why would they?
What the fuck is that?
Oh, buddy, he actually he went to catch that, Rob.
Yeah, Vildor was like 6 yards out of bounds. Hey, man, he made the play.
Yeah, good play. That's good. He's getting the reps in. But yeah, I had Wyoming. I was trying to find the game. I'm like, I do what I always do if the game can't find a stream, whatever. You go on Twitter, you search Wyoming, and then you just scroll and just see the updates. And then saw a random update that was basically like, can't believe I need to download the Barstool Sports app to watch this game.
Oh, it's
got my buddy to download the Barstool Sports app. Sweat out the last minute and a half with Portnoy commentating. Electric, man. There you go. Timeout here.
You know, McCarthy's been super aggressive lately.
No, there's no way. There's no way. No, don't do this, man. Because then I know I'm going for everything here, but the over.
Yeah.
No, don't.
They're going to try to draw him, maybe?
No, but they can't even draw him. It's 4th and 6.
Yeah, but so that enough to make it like sense for them to go for it. You know what I'm saying?
They need a double draw.
Double draw.
Just kick the field goal. Aubrey's also money.
Yeah, he's great.
You know what? No, they're not going for this.
Also, how much does it play into it that they know that Campbell will go for 2 if they score a touchdown?
They're not going for this. They're just trying to draw him.
Yep.
There's no way. 4, 3,
no, it's a timeout
2,
for sure.
1. Okay, here you take a timeout.
Yeah.
3. There's value there.
Yeah. Drawing them to try to draw them.
They were a draw away from needing a draw. Hot Dog Better saying he's due for a miss. You know what? He is due for a miss. If we're playing the odds here, he's due for a miss. Fair odds right now, Lions. You can get, well, I mean, it's obviously Vig in these, but we're probably, let's see if he makes this actually 43-yarder. We're due for a miss. I'll say that we're due for a miss.
This guy's money, man. So good.
That's down the pipe.
Dude, he kicked that like it was a chip shot, like it was an old 17-yard extra point.
Listen, can't really be more down the pipe than that. Just want to remind everyone right now, the Lions should have one extra timeout. Got absolutely dropped. But I'm making excuses before the bet even lost. It's
Home clock operator, man. Home clock
So Lions right now, you're looking at best available like plus 700. So, we're below water, but, it's possible.
I've seen this game before, Johnny. This game ends 20-19, Cowboys.
You think so?
I honestly don't, but I have to. This is a pro tip to everyone in the chat. You convince yourself of the bad outcome first, like the Lions are going to go score a touchdown, because that way when it happens, it's a little less painful. But when it doesn't,
19 gets me my over. How do I change my bio here? That's why Lions haven't been doing good. I got to change this thing.
Sammy Port's revenge drive. Let's go. Sammy Port's. Oh, fuck, man.
That was, by the way, that field goal was for the pregame. I didn't have it, but that was the pregame. That's the pregame spread there. That was 4.5, 5.5. All of those would have been there.
I'm trying to think if I can mathematically lose Goff's under here.
Let's see is Montgomery out here or Gibber. That's for Rob's bet. See, Gibber is out there. He's going to get a couple catches here. I believe, unless something gets messed up.
He's the
there he is. Revenge drive. Revenge drive. You can't be allowed. You can't go quick.
Fuck, if Goff throws his way to the end zone, I will lose this. I'll lose his
under.
You
need a pass interference.
Yeah, I need a penalty. That gets
you need one pass interference here. Oh, there he is, Sam Ports.
Sammy Ports. This is going to be a sweat.
Drive. Sammy Ports revenge drive.
I will, if Detroit scores here, which is not a foregone conclusion, but they have a minute to. I will be very, very surprised if they don't go for two. Like Dan Campbell is and if he gets that 2-point conversion, the coach of the year market is going to completely change. He's going to be like making a statement over Stefanski. But if he doesn't get, all your coach of the year bets would be hanging on that 2-point conversion.
Boys, I have a quick announcement to make here. We're above water. We're above water on the 420. We're above water.
No, that's St. Brown open.
There you go. Another one. They got a spike, though. They got a spike. See, here's the thing. The 2-point conversion can only be done if it's actually for the game. If there's like 2 seconds left or something. It's got to be mathematically within 30 seconds. It makes sense. But even within 30 seconds, because think about it. You have Brandon Aubrey. He can hit 60. Maybe they could even attempt a 70 bomber with it.
True. Good point.
Why would you like, let's say Dallas has 2 timeouts. Let's say there's 19 seconds left. We're getting ahead of ourselves. 19 seconds left. If you kick the extra point, Dallas is going to kneel it out. If you don't, Dallas is going to throw a bomb. If they complete one, a CD or a pass interference, something, Aubrey, whatever. Plus Dallas has the 2 timeouts. If there's a second left, okay. If there's a second left, they're like no time on the clock or under 5 seconds, sure. But
it's basically what the tipping point is.
Offer. No flag. See, now we're already 3rd and 10 because of the spike.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now listen, I'm gonna be an NBA. Now you don't need a touchdown here. Remember, the field goal onside kick is still available.
Right.
Oh, that's a clear PI.
Field goal onside kick is still available. Back in the days where they used to recover onside kicks. Wouldn't put it past Tony Dungy.
What I just said is the equivalent of like what the NBA announcers say. They'll be down 3, like 7 seconds. They're like, now you don't need a 3 here. Like, buddy, shoot a 3. Ports.
He's still up.
Spike.
Oh man, that's good.
Go spike.
They did. They're going for 2 if they score at this point. Because it's the tipping point, right?
Boys, if you're on the 420, listen, you win or lose, we got our money's worth. That's what gambling's all about. Not financial advice, but we got our money's worth tonight. Win or lose.
Well, what's live? I mean, technically, someone could play back on the. What's the live?
Definitely, like minus 200,
minus 260. Yeah,
250, 260. I mean, you got to be careful live betting. By the way, if it's not a break, because you don't want to get free rolled here.
True.
I'm on.
Oh,
he's in.
Yeah,
Touchdown. See, no 2PC here. Don't go for 2 here. It's negative EV. You go for 2 here, it's not for the win. If you kick this, Dallas will probably kneel it
up. With no timeouts.
They have 2 timeouts. They have 2 timeouts.
They won't. So like you basically have
I'm saying they'll play less aggressive. They'll play less aggressive. That's what the edge is, that they play less aggressive.
Correct. After they get incomplete on the first one, they're like less likely to throw or whatever.
Rob consulted for sports books. Johnny, not financial advice. Yep, that's true. Dude, don't go for 2 here. This is a negative EV play. I guess you could also onside though.
They could be trying to make Dallas use a timeout because I would line up to.
They're going for it. Oh, flag. What happened? Timeout Dallas. Timeout Dallas. By the way, that over. Good winner.
Let's see what they do now. Like, when Dallas has 2 timeouts there, that they're going to call a timeout. So you could send your offense on the field no matter what in that type of situation. Wow. What did St. Brown end with yards? 90. What was his total? 88.5?
So right around there, depending where you got it.
Yeah.
Wait, are they going for it? What happened there? I need the volume here, buddy.
Yeah, go put it up. Put it up. 2.10.
No, I can't leave the screen right now. I can't leave this chair.
Do you need them to get it? Does it matter?
If you saw my TV setup, you would know it's very hard to change the volume up, and that's why I'm saying
I know your TV setup. Okay. I'm very well aware. I've tried to before. Okay.
Ports. He got it. Wow. He fucking got it. Now we swept Brandon Aubrey, 23 seconds.
And now Dan Campbell wins Coach of the Year.
No, buddy. This game's not over. Boys, I would like to make an announcement. We are above water. The
4th and 6, man. Fuck. Taylor Decker caught it. Oh, flag.
What happened?
Oh, are they going to say he's ineligible? This flag came in like really late. Oh, he illegal touching. So he went out of bounds. Or what?
Illegal touching for. Can you guys hear my volume? I just tossed it on.
No, you're good. You're good.
Can this be a review here or something or no?
Oh, they're saying he didn't report to the referee.
Wait, Dan Campbell, he just lost Coach of the Year. It's done.
He's done. The
It's
markets are
Dan-
are changing like
oh,
this.
he's losing his mind. Dan Campbell, don't take a flag. We got to make this extra point here, buddy.
Wow. Honestly, I'm just gonna say
No, wait, no, Dan.
still
What are you
going.
doing?
He's still going.
No, what are you doing? Oh, coach of the year back on the market.
He wants his coach of the year really
What
badly.
are you doing? No, there's 23 seconds left. There's no way, guys. Please, there's no way. Oh, he jumped. No, he didn't jump. He jumped. Free play.
It's a free play.
Correct. Free play. All right.
And they're going to get it back. They're going to have it from the 3.5 yard line.
We got our money's worth. We got our money's worth, boys.
That was Micah Parsons. He definitely jumped offside. It was the same though as the bullshit from the first quarter with one of the first plays of the game.
Oh, Parsons,
defensive player of the year out the window. Myles Garrett.
Guys, Dan Campbell, coach of the year, back on the table with that. Yep, certainly jumped. That's
He's
a
offside.
jump.
He's offside. This is an insane ending. Dan Campbell
But
is
they still wait. What was that? A 5-yard penalty or
3.5. It'll go to the 3.5.
it was
It's
half
the
distance to
distance
the
to the
goal.
goal. Yeah.
And the Lions was a 5 yard, so now they're at the 2.5 or 3.5.
I need to stop badly. I need to stop just for my own sanity.
No.
Oh my God. You know who that is? That's James Mitchell. Remember I was like the other tight end, the Sammy Ports? Dude,
That is
tell me that's a pathetic play.
that is
Pathetic.
just not, bro. What in the world is going on? I don't even want to be on this stream anymore, guys. We lost like that.
On a throwing short of the end zone. I don't want to be that guy. But Jason and Jacob, you guys are going to have some work to do because the pizza man called the 20-19 final. Not too long
No, it's not
ago.
over. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Boys, we're below water. Big announcement. We're drawing dead.
It's one play. It's a kneel down.
What do you mean? Oh, it's not kneel. That's an onside kick.
Oh, true. Oh my God. What the hell am I saying? Yeah.
It's not
They have
dead.
to kick the ball. It's not dead. It's not dead. They're showing the overhead view here. And does it not look like does he talk to the ref? The rules of the NFL are so dumb, by the way.
All right, boys. We're gonna need. Simply put, we need this onside kick recovery.
I mean, it looks like he didn't report. Anyway, sorry. I'm stuck on the reporting thing because it's just such a pivotal penalty in the game.
Simply put, we're gonna need this onside recovery. Oh, something.
Timeout Dallas, probably. Now, we've talked about Hail Mary plays before, but what Cooper Kupp did like a few weeks ago on an onside kick where he slapped it out of bounds, it's got to be the way to play it nowadays.
Listen, all I'm going to say is this. If Dan Campbell does win Coach of the Year now after this travesty, that was such a negative EV go for in the start of it. The second go for it with the penalty, insanity. At the 3.5, fine. You could even justify that with the after the Parsons penalty, but that second one is
no. But the way it happened because his offensive lineman didn't report as an eligible receiver on the play, you can't win Coach of the Year after that.
No, but unless they recover this onside kick, then he wins.
True. So it's on the Lions kicker, Jack Fox.
Oh. Good onside kick. Good onside kick.
It was.
Oh,
you just can't. CeeDee Lamb's not dropping it.
You got to go opposite side.
Dude, okay. Like, what happened to the days where the kicker would just blast it at the guy that's standing 10 yards away on the line? You're telling me you can't practice that enough to consistently hit a guy?
Wait,
soccer
they're
players
showing it now. If you report, so I just want to listen 1 second.
Yeah, he just. Decker did not. The only one player reported. That's why the flag came so late because
they're basically saying that even if he did report, wouldn't have mattered. He was uncovered on the line. So it was all honestly just not good. Boys,
This was a great. It
we
ended
got
up
our
being
money's worth. We got our money's worth tonight. Needed the over, came on, got the over. Dunked some on the Lions, but you know what? It is what it is.
such as life. Me and
We
Johnny
had
got
value.
circles off coming out. Well, it's already out. We're in like in between phase now. We never talk on Saturdays. We got an episode of Circles Off out. Check it out on the Circles Off YouTube channel. It's a Q&A episode. We got another one coming up in the new year. Thursdays every 4 o'clock. Make sure you check it out. And of course, check out BetStamp as well. Download the App Store. Do you still like to promo the website, or you just like the App Store promo?
Yeah, no, everything. Check some. We got some stuff coming. We got some big stuff coming that everyone on the stream is gonna like, and that's all I can say. But it's gonna be a couple weeks, and then you guys will see. Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to think if I got anything else to close on. I'm a little distraught right here after what just happened.
I don't ever see you like this.
What?
I don't watch games with you.
Listen,
I never see your emotions of watching a game.
It was a net win. I don't actually care that the Lions lost his bet. It wasn't a massive bet or anything like that. It was just like, a liver. But like with all the fellas in the chat riding and all the people at home, like it would have been nice to get that one for the boys.
Once you put the bets out there, it makes it there's so much more pressure.
It would have honestly been fucking nice to get that one with the boys. Post a little screener after, but it is what it is. Hey, it was a good bet. We got our money's worth. Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year market plummeted. It's done. CD 227, 1 touchdown, 1 onside kick recovery.
Welcome Offensive Player of the Year for CD.
Is he going to get it?
No, probably Tyreek.
Yeah.
CD had to pick this year to have the year that where Tyreek is having the year he's having, but it is what it is.
Are you betting Bills to win the division?
No. I already have very bad bets on the Bills to win the playoffs. I don't want more exposure to the
When you
Bills.
say to win the playoffs, you mean to win the Super Bowl or to make the playoffs?
To make the playoffs. Bad numbers, horrible prices right now. That I'm like way underwater.
Major
big time underwater. Yeah. I got no snorkel or nothing. And that's where I'm at. I don't need more.
I have a couple bets for people. Number one, if you look around, Puka Nacua is not going to win the Rookie of the Year. It's going to be CJ Stroud. So you can already lock that in. Even if he doesn't come back and play, it probably doesn't matter. Offensive Player of the Year, like I think McCaffrey would probably still get it though, or Tyreek. But McCaff's gonna, if he he's not gonna win MVP. But for whatever reason, if he wins MVP, there you go. And then I was gonna go last. DeMar Hamlin for Comeback Player of the Year, still like that. Listen, I know Flacco's been good, and like he's probably gonna. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you need Joe Flacco. This guy he deserves it." But man, the voters are just gonna vote Hamlin. Like
I'm with you. It's funny that I never talked to you about this, but I'm kind of with you. It's just too much. It's the optics of the whole thing that I think is.
As soon as he played one snap, it was already like a massive favorite for those guys. And then now when you're looking at he actually played a game, like I don't see how he doesn't win that. And then last thing I was going to talk about is last couple of weeks. You see any edges here? I'm trying to look for some stuff, but I think this is the time when the quarterbacks would get benched pretty easily. A lot of these coaches are making like the pre-game changes. There's like 3 of them this week already for pre-game QB changes. But I was going to ask you, Rob, any QBs you think that could get benched mid-game?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like Fields is playing great, but in a situation where he wasn't playing that good, like Fields would be benched at a half, for example. Like a team like Chicago, going to get the first overall, going to take a QB, etc.
Yep. Okay, so Kyler Murray could get benched because he's had the flu all week, and there's a legitimate chance they're getting blown out by the Eagles, where they might not want to play him anymore. So that's a possibility, although like an extremely unlikely possibility. Fields is not getting benched. Browning, I don't think is going to get the hook at all, no matter what, in this week as well. Stidham gets the whole start, probably. Who else do we got? I mean, Stroud has like injury, re-injury like possibility. First game back from concussion, but he ain't getting benched.
Because, like, for example, last week I was like targeting Nick Mullins to get benched.
Yes,
and it never actually happened, but it was like a very strong possibility. Like the week before was Trubisky to get benched. It was a strong possibility. Like anyone else, not Kyler Murray, like any shit QBs that could get benched right now.
Okay, so like there is an outside chance Derek Carr could get benched if it's because that game is their season. So like if they're struggling against Tampa to move the ball, there's a possibility that Carr could get benched. Aiden O'Connell, I know they won last week, but it was 2 defensive touchdowns. He didn't complete a pass in 3 quarters. There's a chance that they would go to Garoppolo because
is he back like fully healthy?
Yeah, Garoppolo's the backup, and because you have your like their head coach now, Antonio Pierce is coaching for his job. It's not like a meaningless game. You know what I'm saying? He'll do anything.
That one could be interesting. The thing is, it's like they kind of know what Jimmy Garoppolo is. This works better when you have like random QBs that they don't know what they are, and they're like, yeah, let's give this guy some reps in game.
If Kenny Pickett ends up active as the backup quarterback,
he is.
I think
he is.
It's whether he's the emergency or backup. I don't know. But if he's the backup, then Mason Rudolph is a possibility.
Yeah, you're commenting Rudolph is Steelers.
But they're not benching Rudolph for Trubisky. They're benching Rudolph only to bring in Kenny Pickett at that point. Geno Smith is a possibility.
But how is Geno Smith? I mean, for injury, but I feel like he's just like so far ingrained in the job that they wouldn't bench him. Plus, Pete Carroll's more old school, anyways.
Carroll's old school for sure, but
like it's got to be a team that's kind of out of it though. But they're not. Yeah, there's none like this. There's in previous years. There's so many of these. Yeah. Like Jordan Love's not getting benched.
No, I just
Broncos
went through the entire league.
The Broncos could bring in somebody else, I guess. What about Easton
Stick? Like I don't think at this point they're going to go. They have Will Grier as the backup, who was like on the Cowboys at the beginning of the year. I doubt it.
Someone's asking Desmond Ridder if Heineke struggles at the start.
Yeah, but like that, I don't think Ridder comes in for performance. I think Ridder comes in if Heineke gets injured. Yeah, it's tough. You know, Nash brings up a good point. There's been so many injuries in the NFL this year that it killed some of these situations late in the year.
It did. Too many QBs went down. Like Daniel Jones would have been a candidate to just get benched for a game if he was playing shit, just to see let's get this other guy in there. So yeah, probably not. Someone commented earlier, what's Johnny's thoughts on Ravens Dolphins? So like on the game, I mean, I don't just like bet into the main markets here. I don't originate like NFL sides or anything like that, but I do think the Dolphins are not that good. So I would be certainly playing like in terms of who I think is going to win, like Baltimore as a fan here. Some of these situations though, they're all, it's not that a trap game exists or anything like that, but these lines are just so accurately priced that like it is what it is. The percentage chance of Baltimore winning, it's like, that is the line, man. And even if they win by like 30, that was still the correct line at the time. It was still like the best indicator we have. So I would, if I had to like, pick one side at post, I'd pick probably Ravens -3, -10, which is available right now. But yeah, if you shop around, man, like you can get Baltimore -3, -10, and you can get Miami +3, +08. Yeah. So if you have access to that, like you're 2 cents in an 2 cents off an arbitrage opportunity there. Like
you're paying is so low, basically.
Yeah, and especially if you're like, I mean, I don't want to say like $10 bettors. You're a $10 better, you could probably find some better like boosts and stuff like that. But if you're, let's say, like a $500 better, $1,000 better, like you're giving up like literally $10 if you're $1,000 better in negative EV there to just place that bet and have fun. So you can place $1,000 bets like all year long right before game time and probably lose like you probably won't lose the exact amount. You'll probably lose a couple grand or win a couple grand, have a good season, and the actual value you'll only be down like, I don't know, $200, $300, which is great value for a full season of fun and sweats like we had tonight. But anyways, everybody, check out Circles Off. I'll be on next week. We got a part 2 of the question and answer, and appreciate everybody for joining.
All right. It's Johnny from BetStamp, everyone. Peace out, Johnny. Have a good night. All right. For the schedule, this is unusual because it's Saturday night. I'm going to be up early tomorrow morning, Sunday for the full stream, full slate of games, but also a stream. 11 a.m. tomorrow. It's a pizza buffet right here on Forward Progress. Make sure you click that bell notification and you'll get alerted when I go live. I'm going to go through every single game on the board tomorrow, give my final thoughts. And as it stands right now, I got a few things that are standing out to me at this point, but I will do that. And then No stream tomorrow night with Clive Bixby. Talked about this a few weeks ago, but it's New Year's Eve. We saw on Christmas Eve the way that the markets opened for the next week. It was horrible. Only a few games opened. It took until the next day. There's not going to be a lot of people betting New Year's Eve, so there's not going to be a lot of odds makers throwing out lines and working New Year's Eve either. So take it off, as I will. Have a good one. Enjoy it with your friends and family. But I'll see everyone back here tomorrow morning. Grab some sleep, and I'll be here to review the games on Pizza Buffet. For myself, Rob Pizzola, for our guest tonight, Johnny from BetStamp, Andy Molitor, Eric Eager, Joey Knish, for my producer behind the scenes, the porn guy, Jason Cooper. This has been another edition of a Forward Progress Live Watch Along presented by Pinnacle Sportsbook. Everyone enjoy your night. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.